As I was happily sleeping last night, I dreamt that I opened up my own website where I showcased all of my artisan photos of hats on otters. And I was upset when I woke up, and that was not the case. But with the homies at Squarespace, that dream of a website featuring hats on otters can be real. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform where you can get domains and create the website that you've always dreamt of. The tools they have are so easy to use that you don't need any experience with building a website to craft your own. The best thing too is that they give you even more tools to make sure your website is poppin'. I could not only open up a gallery to show off these photos, but I can also start a store online with Squarespace. I could sell prints of these photos of fun little hats on otters, perhaps subscriptions to otter photos, and even more. Heck, I could even start to sell little hats for otters if I wanted to. And with Squarespace's analytical tools, I can see how my site is performing. With Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support, if I have any issues with any of their beautiful templates or adjusting my website, I know I can rely on Squarespace. Check out squarespace.com/bombcast for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use the offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Everybody, and welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 763. I'm so glad that you could be here with me. I've assembled all of my internet friends, and they came here to play, so let's go start a podcast today. I'm your host, Jan Ochoa, and joining me as always, I ran out of rhymes. I didn't have any more.
You were doing so great, though.
Yeah.
Should we just speak in rhyme for the rest of the podcast? We'll do like a call and response. Like I'll start it and then you finish the rhyme. All right. Joining me as always, co-captain of the ship. He's always shooting news straight from his hip. We've got Jeff Grubb with us today.
And I have got a lot to say.
As always, we've got Jeff Bacalar here.
Good save.
Have no fear.
Oh, you did it wrong.
There's more to fear. Counts.
I mean, listen, the rhymingness has reached a level of white that I don't know if I can handle, even as a very white person myself.
Rounding out the cast, and last but not least, we've got Lucy James here. Nutritional yeast.
What? Why did you say nutritional? Just to fill up the meter?
Just to fill up the meter. I was clapping in my head the syllables.
I'm so glad to be here. You cannot deny, with friends like these, to the moon will fly. I'm not fucking rhyming with yeast. God damn.
Can't believe you did this to the podcast, Jan.
End a line with like oat, Lucy, for me, please.
Benil played God of War, the sections in a boat. Been meal prepping again with some overnight oat.
Don't be a dumbass. If you live in America, go out and vote.
Yeah.
Hey, we did it. All right. right, that's it, everybody. Thanks for joining the Giant Bombcast.
Yeah, we have to. We actually have to legally end the show now. I'm sorry.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey.
We had like Extra Life weekend over the weekend. We all participated. I barely remember anything except I remember 3 things from my stint.
Sure.
One, Lucy James continuing to be a Jenga demon.
Ooh, yeah.
Who's to say?
A hot dog version of myself was delivered to the office, and I think we should make body pillows.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And 3, Matthew Rorie farting next to me.
That would be the thing I remember as well.
He was
Man,
the
that
most.
boy ain't right. That boy ain't right.
It's so funny because I get to the office and he's like, Jan, whose idea was it to start at midnight? And then I didn't want to tell him it was his idea.
What's his idea, right? Yeah, okay.
But then he slowly came to the realization, oh, wait, it was my idea. Oh, shoot. How's everyone feeling?
Good. I slept for, let's see, we can do the math now. So after my midnight shift started, well, I started at 9 p.m., whatever. I got finished. I did Game S mornings. We were in the meeting, and eventually at one point, Beckar looks over at me. He's like, Grub, just leave and go to sleep. And I just hung up on the call and went to sleep. Yep. And I laid down probably a little bit after my kids kind of got home from school. So 2 p.m., and then I slept till about 9 p.m., and it was late getting them to sleep, like helping to get them to sleep. And then I fell back to sleep at 2 a.m. and slept until 7. So like 15-ish hours of sleep, and I feel fantastic now. I got to say, today I haven't slept that long in a very long time, and it feels very nice.
You kind of hibernated. Good. That's sick.
Yeah, exactly. I just got up to like maybe eat a little bit, drink some water, like clean myself up a little bit, and then went back to bed. And yeah, I feel real good. Feel real sharp.
Forgive me if this is a personal question, Grub, but do you drool when you sleep?
Occasionally, yes. Okay. I've got a little bit of that dysphagia, I think it's called, and yeah, it's that started when I think I've told the story when I went to Europe and I drank the European Pepsi Max, and it gave me really bad, like it hurt my throat, like it was so violently carbonated or whatever, and then ever since then, like I got a little bit of issue with the throat, like keeping that stuff down during my sleep.
Permanent agita.
Yeah, basically, yeah, and it's I remember the plane ride home. I was like trying to swallow, and I'm like, I can't swallow. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Pepsi Max?
I drink like 6 of them in one night, yeah.
Is it called Pepsi Max because it's like max carbonation that's legally allowed?
It's got and I think it's got like ginseng in it or something. I don't know. Back then,
damn.
Do you not have Pepsi Max over here? You must.
We did. They got rid of it, I think.
Oh, Pepsi Max, I think is like the. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that the one with like less sugar?
No, Pepsi Max is the one that
has the most sugar.
In the UK?
Actually, I think it does
max
have
everything.
It does have less sugar.
I think
sodium.
In the UK, it's the sugar-free one.
Right, it's the sugar-free one. But then they in America, for the very least, they were putting like ginseng and stuff in it. So yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I before we address Jeff Grubb's shirt, I want to bring issue that I have with Jeff Bakalar.
We don't have to do that at all.
I mean, look, get in line, bud.
I used to be a LaCroix guy or a LaCroix boy.
Oh.
Perfectly fine flying this flag. LaCroix. LaCroix.
And then you got in the same room with Jeff Bakalar, huh?
And then he introduced me to the wonderful, dangerous world of Spindrift. And then I got the Costco pack of Spindrift, and I was like, this is great. This is delicious. And then I go to the office, and there's free LaCroix. I'm like, there's nothing more delicious than free beverages. And then I try it, and I spit it out instantly because it tasted so artificial. And I was so upset. And then I threw the can on the ground. I fell to my knees, and I started crying.
Yeah.
You've been ruined.
It makes sense. Because you see value. You see value, and you respect value. And that's what Spindrift is. And once you go, not an ad yet.
We're
call
willing.
Call me. But it's really good, and it's the best of all the of all the seltzers. And I knew this was going to happen to at least one person in Brooklyn. When I brought it to this, I said, I'm going to change someone's life forever, silently through seltzer. Mm-hmm. And this is what happens. The lemon, the lime.
Oh, the lime is trash.
All right. Hey, I'm not going to be, choosy here, but the lemon is just like a brilliant situation.
So, I'm not a connoisseur. Is seltzer different to sparkling water? And also different to different to tonic that I put in my gin.
I think tonic hits different.
Yeah.
Damn right it does.
Yeah, but
Tonic's so bad for you, dude. Gin and tonic, so bad for you.
G&Ts?
No, and I went through a big phase early in pandemic where my drink of choice on an evening was a gin and tonic, and then someone told me that tonic was like worse for you than Coke, and I was like,
it's worse than why? Because of the quinine in it. How do you quinine?
Quinine?
I don't know how you pronounce it.
Lupine?
Which one did they think cured malaria when they were, during the empire building in the UK? They're like, was it the tonic or was it the gin? 'Cause that's why they did gin and tonics. And like, one of these things cures malaria. But spoiler alert, neither of them cured malaria. But they thought one of them did. And so, but I'm like, it's called tonic, so it's got to be tonic. But they didn't like the way tonic tastes, so they poured gin in it. That doesn't make any sense.
Mother's ruin.
Well,
Mother's ruin.
Yeah, that's another local name for gin back in the UK.
Oh boy. Boy.
Yeah.
Club soda is infused with carbon dioxide and mineral salts. Similarly, seltzer is artificially carbonated, but generally doesn't contain added minerals. Tonic water is also carbonated and contains added quinine,
What did I just say?
and sugar,
Quinine.
which means it provides calories. So tonic water has calories, which is probably why it's worse than a Coke.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fucked up. How is anything worse than Coke? I don't understand how a clear liquid is somehow worse than fucking Coca-Cola.
I mean, you don't know how many gin and tonics I was knocking back as well. It was like, I went through a phase where I would finish my work day and then I would have a White Claw in the shower. Shower claw. But then I moved on to like a G&T in the shower, and that's when you know you have a problem.
It sounds really refreshing, though.
Yeah, it was really great.
At least you don't caffeinate. At least you don't caffeinate as much as I do throughout the day. There was a point during Extra Life where my stomach was rumbling because I think I had too much coffee. But then
You said?
I kept going.
No.
I was thinking like, I'll just go for broke. God. So before we get to video games, Jeff Grubb, speaking about other types of games, you settled the bet.
No.
You did.
I wore it. There was no rule about talking about it.
There's also rules against slouching, though.
I don't. Absolutely not. All right. Are you happy?
All right. I am happier than you will ever know, my friend.
This sucks. You never said how good they were. They never. When we made the bet, they got so good this season. What is happening?
Let me tell you something. I, too, did not know how good they were. I would argue, as a diehard 40-year New Jersey Devils fan, that they might even be overachieving at the moment. But the stats don't lie. They are an impressive 5-on-5 team. They fucking rule right now, and it's been a pleasure to watch. And honestly, they've been so bad for a decade that, like, even this first 12 games, I feel great. If we lose the next 68 games, I don't care. This has been amazing to watch. Yes, Lucy.
What sport is this?
Ice hockey.
Hockey of the National Hockey League.
Cool. Have fun.
Thank you, Lucy. We appreciate that. Red Wings.
Cold football.
Cold football.
Cold 6, cold 5. Is that what we called it?
We called it cold 6 or cold 5. There was someone got pissy like that we weren't counting the goalie, so I was like, all right, it's cold 6.
Okay.
Like clearly you're the goalie on your ice beer league.
Listen,
so
don't make goalies mad. You'll get stabbed. They will stab you.
Yeah, but you know what? They play for free, so like, buck up.
Yeah,
you know, like it's all good.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw that one play from that one Mighty Ducks movie. That was wild. Remember when they pulled the switcheroo? Whoa, jeez.
Yeah.
Listen, I think about the switcheroo. I do think about it.
I wonder, the purest movie.
What rules could you do? Yeah, absolutely. Red Wings similarly overachieving. I think they've had their best start in 12 years.
Yeah, they look great. They're fun to watch. Thank you for fulfilling your end of the betting bargain, Jeff Grubb. You're
I'm wearing the shirt. That's what's happening for audio listeners. I'm wearing the New Jersey Devils shirt. It's somehow a bit shimmery. It was way more shimmery than I was expecting as a black New Jersey Devils shirt. And it does feel like I'm about to go clubbing, but also still want to represent the Devils, represent the boys.
It fits you nice. It fits you nice.
Actually, honestly, I'm like, man, I wish it's a Red Wings shirt. This is nice. It's good.
Wear it well.
It's flattering.
And the best part is you get to expense it. So
absolutely,
hell yeah,
rock and roll. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, let's not forget that, right? Come on.
Absolutely. I was
Thank you,
not gonna pay for this.
Thank you, fandom, for
absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Fandom.
picking up the bill on our bullshit. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Just like I thanked Tam yesterday when he helped me acquire Harvestella, because we're talking about games now. Game music's playing. These are the games we talk about. Video games.
Wow, good job.
Wow, look at us. Look at us. Harvestella, let me change this title up here. I'm maybe like 3-4 hours in, and I still don't know how to feel about it. For those that don't know, this is a JRPG hack and slash farming game.
One of many. Coming out. This is the one that seemed this is Square Enix, right? So this one seemed a little bit more combat heavy than some of the other ones, right?
Yes. And as someone that is slowly coming to terms with the realization that I might like farming games because
sure,
it turns out they have had tiles for forever now.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the original tilers. Everyone knows that. Farmers.
Yeah. There's no overalls. I'm glad to report, and the characters are not as
caked up
as they are in Disney Dreamlight Valley. So it's already operating at a loss here. I think my biggest problem with it so far is that it is such a slow start, and especially in a world where where there are so many farming games now that just drop you straight into it. Yeah. I feel like there should be a little bit more trust onto the player to figure out, okay, cool, I just have to till the land, I plant the seeds, I water the plants. Cool, sick. And as far as it is right now, there's a day and night cycle, and as soon as it hits 6 p.m., you gotta go the fuck back to your house. Otherwise, they make it really, really seem like something is going to go get you. Because at the start of the game, something you did got, and you got hit by the quietest or whatever.
Quiet Man?
I wish I got hit by the quiet man instead. Oh man, we didn't play that during Extra Life. Bummer.
No. Next year.
Next year. There's always next year. And you suddenly transform into a JRPG protagonist with a strong trait of just forgetting everything about what had happened. And it's okay. It's okay so far. The hack and slash elements, there doesn't seem to be too much to the combat. And I understand it's super early, but like it's a very, very slow trudge through it at like 3-4 hours that I feel like I'm just trying to get through to get to the interesting parts.
Do you wish that you were farming more, or do you wish the combat was more engaging, or is one thing taking you away from the other? Like what?
I kind of wish they just let me farm more, and just decided which camp to lean in. Yeah. Also, I feel like every game that doesn't have voice acting and has like a lot of text needs the option of just instant text display. Because as it's going, I'm just like reading too fast, and like I'm trying to fast forward, but there's no fast forward. I'm trying to skip, but there's no skipping in any of the text or any of the cutscenes, and it just feels like a weird design decision to like, yo, trust me, I've played a video game before. I know how to plant things. Yeah. You know, I've seen screenshots and videos of folks that are much further in the game and that have a very expansive farm. It just seems like I'd have to play 10+ hours to eventually get to that point.
Oh boy.
And just at the snail's pace it is right now, I don't see that happening anytime soon, especially with the time constraints, and then there's also energy constraints. It looks okay. I'm playing it on the Steam Deck and it's occasionally hitching. Performance-wise, it doesn't look like it is too magnanimous of a game or whatever, but it is occasionally hitching, at least on the Steam Deck. I haven't tried it out on my desktop just yet. And I don't know, hopefully I can raise animals at the farm or whatever. I hate that this got me, though. I hate that this made me re-download Disney Dreamlight Valley.
There it is.
Real? That's what happened?
Yes, because I was like, yeah, you know what? I could farm for a little bit. I wouldn't mind, like,
if I wanted to.
If I wanted to, and like just plant some seeds and say hey to Donald. Donald gave me a pair of galoshes last time I saw him.
Is there dating in Harvestella?
It's strongly implied that this person that you meet and save at the beginning, there might be some tension going on, but I don't see any possibility of anyone kissing.
Okay.
And that's what I'm always looking for in video games. The possibility of kissing.
That's what planting seeds, the seeds of romance. Yeah, absolutely.
Seeds of romance.
Very good. Very good.
The issue here seems to be that you have an embarrassment of choices when it comes to farming games, right? And anything that feels like it's wasting your time, even a fraction, let alone what this seems to be doing, which seems to be stretching that a little bit more. Why wouldn't you just put it down and go play another one that you already know you enjoy, like Disney Dreamlight Valley? Or, there's this is from that crop of... I didn't do that on purpose. I swear I didn't do that on purpose. That crop of farming games that got announced at the... Yes, exactly. From that Nintendo Direct where there was this, Harvestella, Fae Farm, Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life, Rune Factory 3 Special, Atelier Riza 3, listen, I think that's how you say it. There was that 4-player one. That might be the Fae Farm one, which is that's the one that looked the most interesting to me. But you have your Disney Dreamlight Valley. People are happy going back to Stardew Valley over and over. There's no reason to play one that's not immediately clicking with you, right?
No, not at all. And especially with this is a very specific problem because of our job, but time is very precious at the end of the year where you're trying to complete and go on a marathon run of trying to finish everything. And then in the back of my head, I think I need to delete Marvel Snap from my phone because I need to finish Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and all these other games. And then 2 big games came out today, which we'll eventually get to. Harvestella, it seems all right. It bums me out because it makes me think of Umbrella by Rihanna, and I just miss Rihanna. I just wish she'd come back and make more music.
She just did. She released a song
she
2 weeks ago.
She did?
For Wakanda Forever.
Oh, really?
Well, we need to end this podcast right now so I can go cry and listen to Rihanna. Baby Riri, please save me.
She has a baby now, huh?
She does with A$AP Rocky. But I don't think... okay, here's a controversial take here. Are we ready for this? Are we ready for this?
Oh, no. Okay.
I mean, I'm ready.
Never mind. I think Rihanna...
I
don't
is
know
it
if
too
you
hot?
can do
Is
that.
it too spicy? Come on.
A lot of people
do that.
A lot of people worship and call Beyonce the greatest. I think Rihanna's better.
Wow. Okay.
I side with Bad Girl Riri. Ever since she wanted to pawn to replay, I've been fucking pawn to replaying all the time. Just like the only thing I'm always pressing all the time is the snapping button in Marvel Snap. Jesus fucking Christ.
What's your collection level at?
All right. Yeah, what is your... Yeah, let's just open it up, Jan. Let's just do it right now.
I'll just open it up.
Yeah, me too. Here's my thing with this game. I do not think about it at all when I'm playing. It's like... I haven't seen Severance. This is like Severance for me. When I'm playing it, I'm all in. I forget my life. When I'm not playing it, I forget about everything in the game. So I have to actually
spoiling
be
the show, Grub.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's like the
The show that he hasn't seen?
I haven't seen, yeah.
Yes.
That show's so fucking good, man.
Good.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna watch it.
So good.
Oh wait, I gotta buy this. I gotta hang on. Jan, you gotta start while I buy the new season pass.
Yes,
Distracted.
Plus.
So the original season, the Symbiote season, just ended on Monday, and then okay. All right, I understand folks have their problem with over Marvel saturation of society, but when I saw the seasons change, and then it was like Art of T'Challa and the Warriors of Wakanda for this season, little single tear fell down my face, and then I just did the cross arms, and I was like, Wakanda forever.
Yep.
And then I was like,
Wait a second.
What's up?
Multiple man's in this shit?
Multiple man's totally in this shit.
He's in my ongoing deck right now that I'm using most frequently.
That's pretty neat.
I'm only like deck level 16, so I haven't even got to the good shit.
You can run away.
I didn't really talk to these two.
I'm 316. That's literally where I'm
What
at.
the fuck?
You're Austin.
I've been playing. Yes, exactly. Marvel Snap 316 says I just snapped your ass. Yes.
I'm 432.
There he is, everybody. There he is.
And you both say we have a problem.
Yes, that is true.
So the thing is, I know that I can climb more in my collection level, but I'm holding on to my credits because I don't want to go into pool 3 just yet, because I know that the climb when you get to pool 3 of cards is a little slower. So I'm just hanging out in pool 2 and trying to bop fools.
Right. And not touching corn at all is what apparently is happening.
Oh, no. I mean, I could play this game and also touch corn.
Yeah, I think I took my family somewhere and was playing. Like I said, don't remember though.
What's that like? Can you describe in great detail what that looked like?
Yeah. Like the wife's like, oh, one of the kids has to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, well, which one? And she's like, well, I'll take them, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll stay with the other one. And while we're waiting, I'm like, getting in a game for 3 minutes, and then we're good. And then, it all works out, and no one gets in trouble or yelled at.
What has been the most inappropriate place that either of you have snapped?
I can't say that. I can't say it.
He's a gentleman. They can't say that.
I have started a game and then began driving.
Yeah.
That's I honestly, I don't think there's anything else you could have said that would have been worse for me.
Yeah,
personally.
I know. I'm aware. Everyone's yelling at. Okay, listen.
That is I can't stand these freaks who use their phone while driving. Like,
so, okay, you got to keep in mind.
Crazy.
I used to be a driver. I've driven for more than 10,000 hours in my life.
Cool.
Everything gets in. Everything when I'm driving gets in. It's like whether I'm looking at my phone or not, I'm paying the same amount of attention to the road because it all gets in. I know where every car is all the time.
You are not highway drive assist manifested.
I didn't want to go down this road where I'm just gifted driver. What am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to deny myself?
Dude.
God.
First of all,
he's about to snap.
Throw this man in fucking car prison. No. I don't like that.
Had people yell at me, and I
bullshit.
I'm using Google Maps. How dare you? I wasn't using Google Maps.
It's just not good. Oh, I'm
aware. I'm
not going to do it. But
I'm built different. I am built different. That's right.
No.
That's right.
I consider myself to be an excellent driver too, but I purposefully avoid at all costs looking at a phone. And if I must snap, I will pull over. If I must snap.
Yeah, I'm so good at driving.
I'll be safe. Of course, I'll be safe. Yes.
That's okay, Lucy. I mean,
because I can't.
I know.
But I feel like I've been in enough cars that I would get the theory. I feel like I could.
Theory? Driving is not an abstract concept.
Well, no, you have to do your driving theory test, and then I
don't know if it's a theory. I feel like
that's what we call it in the UK.
Oh,
I feel like
I guess it's like a practical, right? Like
no theory, then practical. Yeah.
Flattering driving in a way that it does not need to be flattered. I feel like.
I mean, in the UK we have manual control cars mostly, so and roundabouts, which y'all seem to find really difficult to do.
No, I like
that's what drives me crazy. Roundabouts.
Yeah,
Americans who stop at roundabouts, I'm gonna fight you. You don't stop. You just go. Even if there's a car right there, I promise if you keep going, it's gonna be all right. I get very mad when they stop.
See. We were well on our way to a driving safety podcast, and then you had to open up your mouth and go, hey, I also play Marvel Snap while I drive. Aren't I the coolest?
Wait, do what I say, not what I do.
If I got in a car with you and you did, I would be so mad.
Sure
I would literally slap it out of your hand.
I'm well aware when other people are in the car. I'm like, I don't do it because I know I'll get yelled at. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bad man. I know.
Anyway, the last thing I'll say about Marvel Snap is that there's a new battle pass, and I hate that I bought it.
So you're not people, Mike. Sorry, Mike's saying I did it with him in the car. You don't count. That's
$23 I've now spent on this game.
23? That ain't bad.
That's fine.
That's where I'm at too.
How many hours are you at? Do you think?
Many.
Then that's fine. Like that's
Yeah, that's true for like a time versus dollar situation.
Yeah. $18 to go see a 2-hour movie.
Oh yeah, you know what?
So
yeah.
I'm enabling. I shouldn't be doing this.
Oh, Lucy, Lucy.
The monetization in this game is fine. I know exactly the $23 you spent. I have too. The 2 battle passes and the Captain America thing, right?
Yep. 100%.
And it's like those are the things to buy, and you could spend more money than that. You can go buy gold. No one's doing that. I don't think. Very few people are doing that. Even if you're a whale, it doesn't seem to make a ton of sense to do that because, like Jan said, if you put yourself in the next card collection tier, you're going to begin facing people who are, much more skilled or have been playing the game for much longer than you. So you kind of want to avoid that to a certain extent. It's a slow burn game. It's doing everything right when it comes to monetization, and kind of should be rewarded, I think, a little bit. We are free to play games aren't going anywhere. Games that try to get as much money out of you as possible aren't going anywhere. So when a game does it right on that side of things, I'm kind of like, let's call it out. And I'm really enjoying it, specifically because it doesn't make me think about spending money very often.
Yeah. You know what else isn't going anywhere? Distracted driving.
All right. I'm overstating it, everybody. Listen, I was lying. I don't want to get in trouble anymore. Stop yelling at me, everybody.
It was just imagine you like mid snap try and like put your belt on, which who knows if you wear one at this point.
Of course I do. Yes, of course I do. Of course, absolutely.
And it just like the belt like interrupts your phone, and then you're just like stuck.
And then you lose it down the side, and then
paradox. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not a cartoon character. I'm not like Bugs Bunny trying to drive and. Well, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I see.
Okay. Learning a lot today is all. You know?
I'm
I hate that you admitted that in the Devil's shirt. That's very upsetting.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I feel like.
Devil's fan tries to distract.
Noted Devil's fan.
All right, well, I guess we got to put Jeff Grubb and everything he owns in a box to the left, just like Lucy James has been playing Little to the left.
Oh, that was great. And also in line with me, because I think Beyonce is the best. But...
we're still friends. We're still
Lemonade.
friends.
Come on, Lemonade was so good. Still is. I still listen to that weekly. Anyway, I've been playing Little to the Left, which is a very cute little puzzle game where you just organize things.
Like this game.
A stack of books. Yeah, I'll order them in size, height. There is like little like notes and I'll put them together. We played it at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, and games.
Sorry.
Fest, you menace. And no, I've been playing it on my Steam Deck, lying completely horizontal, and it's been lovely. And I'm actually going to my friend's house this weekend. I've been very big on organization TikTok recently. And one of my friends asked me and Callie to go around to organize her bathroom cupboards. So I'm very excited. I'm all in on this. I'm prepping. This is my mental prep before we actually do it.
You confused, Jan?
Lucy said a word, and then I kind of felt like snapping. I'm like, wait, how come it's okay to say cupboards?
Wait, what did I say?
Cupboard. You said cupboards.
Cupboard, yeah. A cupboard.
Again...
He's doing his clibbered shit.
It's
but
not
what do you
shit.
say?
He says cupboards.
Well, no, I'm saying you could say cupboards by that same logic. We could say cupboards.
Transitive property.
Exactly.
Language is not transitive is what the problem is. It's not math. You can't just apply that.
All right, listen, let me, I wasn't here when this happened. And I had it relayed to me the way that this man over here pronounces clipboards.
Man.
And I want to say, I mean, listen, he's got, like, if you think about the word cupboards, and so it's like, that's what started it, or that's where he was coming from. Like, yeah, because cupboards, that's a stupid way to write that word. It is weird and...
English is stupid. We all know English is stupid.
So, I mean, listen, let's let the man put a little zhuzh on his way of saying clipboards.
Yeah. little
sparkle.
You won my vote. You swayed me.
Yeah, zhuzh. Okay.
I rest my case. Case dismissed, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Cupboard. Okay, for a long time, maybe this is because I have immigrant parents, but I did used to say colonel. But that's a confusing ass word.
Yeah, weird.
Oh my god.
Soldier's not great either.
No. Lieutenant and because I grew up calling it lieutenant, and you all call it lieutenant.
Yes. That one still messes me up.
Yeah.
The thing that I also was very, very confused on growing up is at least the garbage service here in San Francisco is called Scavengers. But then my parents, because, accents and everything coming from the Philippines, they would always say scavengers. And then I would think, they're talking about the Avengers. And then one time, one of the trucks zoomed by our street and my dad points it out. It's like, scavengers. And I'm like, that's just scavengers. My whole life has been a lie. And that's just fun little language stuff. Just fun little stuff that happens in God of War Ragnarok. Jeff Grubb, you and I checked.
Yes, we did.
About the first hour, right?
First hour-ish. We got up to the. There's a man shows up at your door, and
a big man shows up.
Like what happens? Yeah, like what happens in these games. And we cut it there, and I watched a little bit more of that. But I'm like, I'm gonna spend some time with that game tonight. And I just like, so this is very early first impressions, which you can watch. Is it up on the site?
Oh, I didn't know you uploaded it to the drive.
Oh, I did not. So never mind. My bad. I didn't know. Okay, yeah. So it'll go up on the site eventually.
It'll be up after this.
Yeah, after this. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to like love this game after enjoying the first game to a certain extent, growing a bit cold with it and bouncing off, and not really. I think it due to any failing of the game specifically. It just wasn't meshing with me over time.
Sure.
I've gone back to that. I found a little bit more that I'm enjoying, and I'm like, I probably will like this game or even like love it to a certain extent. Starting up this game and just be like, okay, I'm ready to give it a real chance, real opportunity. This is still God of War 2018 in terms of look and feel and gameplay mechanics to start. And then the story starts to kick in, and I'm like, I really need to see actually where this goes. And I felt pretty similarly to that in the first one, but this one is even amplifying that a little bit, where I'm very curious to see how these relationships work out, and they're pretty complex, or there seems like there's a lot of opportunity to do fun stuff with the characters, and so I'm like, okay, I want to see it through. I think,
yeah.
And it's not doing anything wrong, which is this is a big game trying a lot of different stuff. And so that's good, and that's going to get me. It's probably going to help. But I think people who love 2018, there's everything here to love. And I know, I think both of you have spent more time with it, right, Bacala or Lucy?
I finished it.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it spoilers to ask how many hours it took you? Do you think?
I don't think so. Because there's a bunch of side stuff that you can do. I think
okay.
I clocked in at 35, but I did a lot of side stuff.
Substantial. Jeez. Baclar,
it's good. I've really enjoyed it.
You completed yet?
I have not completed it. I'm about 10 hours in.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's my take falls in line with you, Grub. I think it's weird. There's a part of me that got into a mode of like, oh wow, this really is just the 2018 game, sort of bigger and better, but it just does so many things so well. It's very tough to ignore how really expertly designed that whole thing is, and that's something that just doesn't get old, right? Like having a game present itself so well, I think, is a thing that I don't get sick of that. I don't get sick of that, as much as I play it. So, and I some of my earlier complaints about the getting whacked every time from the back all the time from enemies, like I still think to some degree that still does sneak up on me in a way that is
even with Mimir and Atreus both yelling, "They're behind you,
brother! He's behind you!" It's like, I know. Like I just think I don't. My mind does not mesh well with the color indicator arrows. Like
they actually are a bit funky in terms of like the direction. I always kind of misalign or misjudge where they're actually pointing. I'm like, okay, so if I move backwards, they should be right over here. And it's like, oh no, they were actually right behind you. It's a little bit odd.
I just roll too, and I avoid whatever. But I also think there's like a time sensitivity with the yellow and with the yellow and the red too that I think is a little uneven. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch. It's just a thing that I don't love. But it really, design wise, is the only thing that I sort of like take umbrage with. Everything else is like.
Can I ask a question? So so we started it. I did the first couple of things, and so I'm like not expecting this to carry over throughout the whole game. Maybe it does. The wolf riding on the wolf pack sled at the beginning. Wolf, shout out to Wolfpack Sting, and then there's a fight right after that, and both of them felt very on railsy, where it's like, okay, yeah, you're in control, but really you're just sliding an avatar across the thing.
Just at the start.
Yeah, just at the start, right? There's not a ton of those kinds of things, right? No. Okay. No. Wonderful. That stuff really does feel old to me, and I get a little bit frustrated when I'm like, I feel very boxed in. I feel very much like a viewer and not a participant. Yeah. And I was expecting that stuff to open up. So, okay, good to hear.
Yeah.
The first thing that I noticed when Grub fired up the game is just how sad Kratos looks. And
he's sad bastard.
I don't know what it is. Maybe technology's advancing. Sony has a good chunk of money to spend on this game, but like, wow, the facial capture in that scene alone just made me think of like, damn, this dude this dude's life sucks.
Guy's a sad dad.
He's
been through a lot, you know.
Yeah.
He's got a shattered past in many ways, you know.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it, I think.
And like, I don't know.
up.
I this might be me just reading too much into everything, but I really like the little subtle details of how they're conveying that time has passed. Atreus is older. You know, like he's the one carrying the deer and everything, versus Kratos just like sitting there waiting for.
Well, I mean, how did the last game start? Right, the last game started with him having to go out and shoot the deer, and the arrow bounced off the deer, and he couldn't. And now he's just out there by himself, and he carries it in because he's a big strapping young man now, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Big boy.
big boy. Exactly, not the biggest boy in the game, but he's a big boy.
No, a lot of big boys.
Yeah.
Big boys.
Big boys, and I'm just very excited to see where the story goes. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, but there's some stuff in the marketing which I guess if you are,
I mean, like
trying not to hear anything about
collector's
this game.
edition, even. Like,
Yes, exactly. So if you're not trying to hear
I
about
was
this
very
game,
surprised at that.
feel free to tune out. But this store seems very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Also, there have been some shitty ass YouTubers uploading just like the big twists and stuff. So PSA, be careful.
Yeah, I was on
'cause
YouTube
it's
seeing that. And
all
thankfully,
out there.
there's so much of that it was actually burying itself. But
No, it's not out yet until like tomorrow. So
That's a bummer.
It sucks.
Yeah.
yes,
So
it does. But it's like it seems. I don't know. Does the story deliver for you guys?
Yes.
So far, I think so. Yes, I haven't seen what Lucy knows and has seen. But
You haven't seen what I've seen.
exactly. But yeah, I you know that keeps like I brought this up last week and it just drives me fucking crazy.
Is this a character you're doing? What's this?
No, this is who I am. I'm actually
okay.
like this.
Grinding
You know
gears
me.
once again.
You know
we
me.
all know you. We
I
all
do.
know you.
Yeah.
But that sounded like you put on a voice.
No, it's just like there's this dude I'm friends with who fucking won't shut up about how he doesn't care about the story in God of War.
Well,
And I'm just like, you're such a freak. I don't want to hear you talk to me about the like. Tell me you don't like the story and what, like, but not this, you fucking raging asshole. It just drives me so crazy.
do we know? Do we know?
You don't know.
I like the story so far. Like,
I mean,
that's
like,
the one reason I would want to play it. I'm like,
It's not a forgettable thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost empirically important to the game. Like, it's.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you are allowed to do whatever the fuck you want, even if it's wrong. Okay.
Even if there should be laws against it.
I'm not. It's just, but like, I almost feel like I'm sometimes crazy when I have engaged
Yeah.
in discourse. When it's just like,
rounding
that's
up a
the-
posse
that's-
to do some video game frontier justice.
Well, that's your
motherfucker-
problem. You engaged in discourse. Come
yeah,
on.
and like motherfucker would be like, you know what's really good, and like list off like all these shows on Hulu or like, and I'm like, motherfucker, do you not? Are you on? Like, does your brain produce a chemical that blocks out like motion capture entertainment? Like, what happened to you? How are you this brain broken? Drives me crazy. I'm sorry. I just needed to.
I gotta ask. I got a follow-up question though. Is he one of your Call of Duty boys?
Yes.
Jade, I didn't even ask because I just assumed. I just assumed.
So
exactly.
that's the thing. My best friend is in the same boat. He tried playing through 2018's God of War, just was not clicking with it. And then I just know that we have different tastes, so I didn't let it bother me. But hey, you know, different strokes for different folks, right?
My big issue with
Yeah.
this, it's really hard to play this game while you're driving. They should really work on that.
Very good. Very good. I
But
like
you
that.
know,
Damn
with
it.
the accessibility options, you can totally cater the
That's true.
game so you can play it and also play Marvel Snap at the same
Yes,
time.
absolutely, which I will do.
Boom, boom.
It is surprising that there is not like the brain dead mode where you're like, I don't want to watch the story. I just want to fucking, you know, and they just like give you cue cards or narrative continuity help or something like that. I don't
Narrative
know. It
continuity.
drives me
Kratos
crazy.
comes on and says, guys, come on, guys.
It's like,
Come
hey,
on,
guys. Thanks,
come on,
guys.
We talked about on the, well, you know what? We're calling it quick starts whenever we check
Yes,
out a game
I like
for the
it.
very first time. The idea that perhaps Kratos' late wife was maybe a wine mom, you know?
Yeah.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Really could see it.
And I could get down with it.
You said Mead Mom. You followed up with Mead Mom.
Mead
which I thought
Mom.
was very
A
good,
Mead
yes.
Mommy.
I like that.
Mommy.
Mead Mommy.
Mead Mommy.
Writing
I
this
like that a
down.
great deal.
Wow, yeah, Mead Mommy is a pretty good one.
Mead Mommy, and I'm gonna do that with an
Put that
IE.
into
Yeah.
Put that into Google. Actually, I'm
put that
gonna.
into Dolly. Put that into Dolly too. Mead Mommy.
Oh
Mead
boy.
Mommy.
Easy.
Please, guys. Please,
Easy.
please.
There's a website called resourcefulmommy.com, and then it's an expense tracker. It's not even fun.
Oh.
Dude, we got a lot of scope to run with this Mead Mommy thing, by the way.
Hell yeah.
So
Well, with the sponsors of this podcast, we can definitely make all of that happen. Before we get to the game of the week, has anyone been playing anything else that they'd like to talk about?
So I got NHL, and
This is
I only played.
2K23?
It's 23. Yes, I played a game, and I realized I finally have like a hockey weirdo who's close in this business, and I feel like, Grub, we should probably do something.
Yeah, let's do something. Let's make
just
something.
Do something.
Yeah.
This is where ideas start. We're planting a seed. We're trying to we're gonna figure it out.
Can we create our friends of the site and just have them fight in the game and just make it a boxing league inside of NHL?
Oh, we are doing the sport of hockey perhaps a disservice by just leaving it up to fighting.
Elbows.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We're putting it out there. If you have an idea, spring it on us. But we should at least like play the game.
I wish the game was on PC so we could really just fuck it up with mods, like
Agreed.
all goalie league. Yeah.
Agreed. I played one game. I think like maybe a couple quality of life things are still there, but it's largely the same game. But yeah, let's play it. Let's plan to play it. Let's make a plan to play it.
Let's make a plan to play it. Hey, give me a code too. Who do I talk to? I forget who the PR person is.
I'll take care of that for you.
I was about to buy it. I'm like, I work.
Yeah, don't buy. We'll take care of that, and we'll figure something out. And you can only play as the Red Wings.
No problem. Yeah,
Easy.
Absolutely.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, the Sabres. Did I say Red? I meant.
you said red
Fuck that, man.
wings?
The shoes?
The Red Wings.
Yeah, the Red Wings. What the
Okay.
Detroit Red Wings, Lucy?
right.
What?
Okay.
What?
Isn't
What?
that-
They're like 120-year-old game.
Get off Urban
team.
Dictionary for like a minute, Lucy.
Yeah,
Jesus.
unplug.
I'm just
sometimes
checking
being
that it
too
is what I
online is a
think it
bad
is.
thing.
Oh my
You know?
God.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is-
no, okay, I was right.
Yeah, you
What?
were, and I want you to
Okay.
stop.
Oh, no.
my
I don't
favorite
even want to
team.
know. I don't even
Wait,
want to know.
Don't look it up, Jen.
Don't look it up.
Now I
Say
have
you're
to.
innocent.
I can't believe you just went there. I'm like, God damn it.
Writing.
Ew,
look you-
what
I
the
look-
fuck, Lucy? What the fuck?
But I've
that
heard
was
it in
super
reference to. That's why I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, that
I
is
can't.
definitely not the
Don't,
knee
please,
jerk.
I don't
I
want
need to look
talk
it up
about
now. I need
Yeah,
to look it
honestly,
up.
Dan,
No, don't
Can I
do
say
it.
something?
no.
Can I say something? Can I say
What?
As I'm typing RED space, right in my brain, I was like, I bet you it's this. And sure enough, it was fucking that. It's exactly what you think it is, Jan. It's exactly what you think it is.
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm not piecing
Oh,
it together.
I don't know what it was. I think it was just going to Urban Dictionary. My mind was just like, okay, you're just freak mode now. This is expect the results appropriate to the site you're on.
Anyway, they're really good at hockey, so that's great.
Yeah. They're a hockey team from Detroit.
The Urban
Yeah.
Dictionary definition or the actual team?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Absolutely.
Boy. Oh, boy. Oh,
I'm
boy.
sorry. That's what I like. I don't fucking
Oh,
grow
man.
up with the Team Red Wings. We
Right.
don't.
Minto in chat says, to be fair, hockey has a lot of periods. So, Game of the
good
week,
joke.
Jen? What do you think?
Give me a week. Move on, Jen.
Pivot.
Well, that leaves that could potentially maybe
Broke my
leave
sweet
a
boy.
that could potentially leave a questionable taste in my mouth, just like the game of the week.
Game of the week. Sonic Frontiers.
Sorry, did we agree on this as a team? What?
Well, I mean, that's not a qualitative statement. It's just the.
That's true.
Yeah, we're just.
I mean, normally the qualifications for Game of the Week is that at least 2 or more people are playing it, and it's something we're really into.
I think you just made those rules up.
Yeah.
Lucy, can you introduce Game of the Week like Jennifer Coolidge?
Oh, yes, please.
And now it's... No, I can't.
No, come on. You it's right there. It's right there.
And now it's time for Game of the Week. Game of the Week here.
Kermit the Frog here with presenting the Game of the Week. Sonic Frontiers.
Oh, no.
Jeff Grubb presenting now with Sonic.
Yeah, I like it. It's fun. It's bad, but it's good. It's bad because it's bad, but it's fun. If you told me, hey, I'm gonna go buy this game, I'm like, listen, be careful. You probably it's janky and it doesn't actually feel that great to play.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to interrupt you, Jeff. I just read the grossest thing in chat, and I still have not looked up what the Urban Dictionary definition of Red Wings is. But then someone just types in Kermit Red Winging Miss Piggy, and I can't move on. I heard Sonic has gun shoes in this. Is that true?
What the? Yeah.
You know what? Yes. Thank you for ending all of that. We're a comedy collective is what we are now. So thank you for
it's
that.
a comedy calamity, maybe.
I feel responsible.
You are, Lucy. You are.
Yes, that's right.
Skeleton goes, well, putting my burger down now.
So it's a good game. The only reason it's a good game is because it's just it's aping Breath of the Wild, and all that stuff works. It's fun to run around in the open environment. It's fun to stumble across a new thing that you can then interact with, and some of those are like shrines, and you go in the shrines, and then you play a Sonic level, and you try to go fast, or you try to collect things, and each of those things that you accomplish inside those shrines gets you a key that you can use to unlock more of the world. It's still a Sonic game in that the 3D controls aren't great. And then they map those 3D controls sometimes to a special Sonic 2D stage, and then they're even worse. So it's like, it doesn't always feel great to play. And if that's a game breaker for, a deal breaker for you, you really, really shouldn't get it. If you've played 3D Sonics before and you're like, well, listen, I know how they control, I know what to expect, you're going to probably be fine. If you're looking for, like, I still want to like a Sonic game, this is the one. This is the one that you could like. It's not going to be game of the year, but you could see a future where they build on this, and it's like, oh, they are going down a path where they're making the best Sonics ever, or at least the best 3D Sonics ever. Right now, there's just a really strong foundation with a pretty crummy game feel, and it's, okay, I'm like, what do I do with that? I still am having fun while playing it. I don't know what to tell people. That's just where I'm at with it. So it's like, I have 2 games right now, God of War Ragnarok and Sonic Frontiers, and I would rather actually still be playing Sonic Frontiers, which I know is going to be insane to a lot of people.
Christ.
I know, but it's like, God of War is prescriptive. It's like prescribed, like what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be going through that game. And Sonic Frontiers is more open, and you can kind of just make your own fun. It is a little bit sandboxy. It's just like, I'm going to go try to run in this direction and see what I find, and that gels with me a little bit more. But that does not mean objectively it's like a well-made game. There are still a lot of traditional Sonic issues with it.
It sounds like you want to you'd rather go to the diner than have a steakhouse.
Yeah, right. That's
Yeah.
exactly. This is it's like fun trash. Absolutely, that's exactly what Sonic Frontiers is. It's fun trash where it's, if you like a food critic would never go and say this is a 5-star thing, and Sonic Frontiers is a 3 out of 5 at best. It's just a really fun 3 out of 5 game.
And I think we definitely need more of those 3 out of 5 games in general.
Yeah.
I feel
a good 3 out of 5.
I love a good B game, a good 3 out of 5, because not everyone has the time to play these giant AAA epics.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Bayonetta 3 is probably just going to pass me by, just because of a lot of the hullabaloo around that game. And it's unfortunate. I was excited for it. I've never checked out 1 and 2. Mildly excited. I was pretty excited for Bayonetta 3.
Oh, you should, man.
Yeah,
They
I should.
are great.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I may not have the time to check it out because I'm actively right now, because of Grub, downloading Sonic Frontiers. and it has the added benefit of being on Steam, so I can play it on my Steam Deck.
Yeah, and I think they're getting it running on Steam Deck. I think I tried it during the review process, but that's a pretty common thing where during the review process, it actually doesn't. They turn off support for Steam Deck while they're still optimizing it. But I think you might be able to get it running on Steam Deck now. But either way, it's I expect some people to come into this game and really hate it. I've seen some people say exactly that. But then, and if you look at the review scores, they are all over the place. I think Mike and Shaq gave it a 4 out of 5. I saw some places give it a 1 out of 5. So I also kind of like that. It's like, this is a game that is going to have varied appeal depending on what you're bringing to it, and I also like that as well. It's like, everyone loves God of War. Of course they do. It's worth loving. So it's like, if I'm playing games to talk about them to a certain extent, I'm like, maybe it's more fun for me to engage with this kind of like slightly broken thing, but it is, for the most part, pretty well made for a Sonic game. I think that might be a little bit colored after watching Dan play Sonic 06 for a little bit, where it's like, they made every wrong choice with Sonic 06, or even the right choices they did make, they were incomplete. They never saw those thoughts through. Here, most things are well thought out until, and there's a handful of things. And again, that just comes down to game feel. Moving Sonic throughout the world when he's not running as fast as possible, or he's not like on grinding on a rail and going really fast. It's like, trying to stop and actually do platforming, doesn't feel great, but it's never felt great in Sonic. So I'm almost forgiving of that.
No one's doing rails in Sonic Frontiers?
Well, I mean, listen, I haven't seen Tails yet, so who knows? We'll see what he's up to.
You can't. He's definitely the one in the bathroom coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's Big the Cat, dude. Big the Cat is like the pusher.
You're right. I take it back.
Yeah, right. But Big the Cat would never get high on his own supply.
No. Are the Sonic friends and family in this game? I think I saw Amy.
Amy
Rose?
is a ghost, a digital ghost, and this has been actually weird.
Did she get Cortana'd? Is she Cortana?
Yeah, I think she's like a ghost in the machine. Yes, she's getting Cortana. She looks actually a lot like what Cortana looks like in terms of how she's presented.
What? Like curvy lady?
Oh no, as in like the same
dead.
sort of blue
Nude.
digital code clothing that she's wearing.
Okay.
Like but this is one of the weird things early on. Every single objective is just talk to Amy. And that's because I was collecting enough of the Amy's memory shards, which is the currency you need to actually be able to talk to the digital ghost Amy. But I had so many of those.
Game?
Yes, I would go talk to Amy, and then it's like, okay, you succeeded at that. And then it'd be like, all right, new objective, talk to Amy. I'm like, well, I fucking did that. What are you talking about? But she would move to a different place, and I'd have to go talk to her there. And this has happened like 4 or 5 times. It's that kind of stuff. It's not Zelda Breath of the Wild. It wants to be. It's very much set up like that. And once you start playing the game, it is so impossible to ignore that they just played Breath of the Wild and they're like, let's do that to Sonic. And that stuff mostly works, but it's like nowhere nearly anywhere close to being as good of a game as that. But it's kind of charming in the ways that it's also, not good. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I can't help it.
I think I'm bothered by you saying that the currency is Amy's memories when they should be rings.
Yeah.
Or there's also rings. There's also rings, but there's a lot of currencies actually. There's quite a few of these digital things you're collecting. But that's also fun because it's like, you get in a fight, you pick up like 3 different things every time, handfuls of them. Some of the big fights too have been like, they're cool to look at. They're really annoying to do. Trying to run up a guy who is 5 stories tall. He's got 3 arms and he slaps the ground. And those create some blue rings, and if you go through the blue rings, you can run up, and you blow up. Then you have to get to the top, and but getting up to the top means running up his arm. And if you are slightly off, or if you don't get on the right track, which is an invisible track to actually make sure you do get on there, you'll just fly off to the side, and that's frustrating. And you have to repeat that. But on the second and third arms, you begin shooting out red rings as well as blue rings, and those red rings will push you back, and it's just annoying and not really. It's not as challenging as it is just very frustrating.
You said red rings, and then like a chill ran down my spine.
Yeah, I know. I heard it too. And I'm like, oh man.
I was gonna say, has someone done a Photoshop where Sonic is running up a giant Shadow the Hedgehog, and it's Shadow the Hedgehog of the Colossus?
I like
That's
it.
free. That's
Absolutely.
free.
I like it.
For the internet.
Honestly, I was fighting the bear in God of War, and I'm like, man, what if that was Sonic? What if that was just, or what if that was Were Sonic, the Werehog?
You're broken, man.
Yeah.
You just.
Yeah, I want to mod this game, get it on PC immediately. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
I mean, it took Kratos quite a while to beat up that bear. I think with Sonic's arsenal of tools, could have done it like in a snap. In a snap.
Would have run rings around it.
And that is the real Rings of Power.
Not Mike's condom rings in his wallet?
No,
Okay.
Oh my god.
Not those, not any red rings or red wings. I gotta go take a shower after this steamy
We have tainted
segment.
this podcast.
Guys, please. If that just about does it for video games, we'll be back after a brief break to talk about video game news. In the meantime, maybe don't, or maybe do search your favorite team up of any sport on Urban Dictionary and report back to the Giant Bombcast and what you find.
Give your loved ones a New Jersey Devil, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
God.
I'm curious to see what doing a San Jose Earthquake will mean to anyone.
Yeah, an Edmonton Oiler. I hardly even know her.
All right.
I had another dream last night after my otter hat dream. I dreamt of a magical world where we had a website dedicated to pictures of rotisserie chickens. Rotisserie chickens are real hot right now, so I gotta strike while the chicken is hot. With Squarespace, I can make those dreams of creating a website about pictures of rotisserie chicken a reality. I have no idea what it would even be or look like, but with the power of Squarespace, I can virtually make a website about anything. I can use Squarespace's world-class design templates and make them my own to make a truly unique website. I can also use Squarespace to lock down my own domain, maybe rotisseriechickensardelicious.com. Maybe I could go with rotisseriechickencheckins.com even. You know, if I even wanted to create a store with Squarespace, I could do that also at the same time. There are so many tools to track performance of the site and see where it's really hitting. We could even just have a good old blog dedicated to the brilliance of rotisserie chickens. Head to squarespace.com/bombcast for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use the offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Chickens. Ayo. I got a puzzle. What would you do if your business had to hire great talent fast? Here's a hint. You need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring partner that can help you do it all. Find great talent faster through time-saving tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. With Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. You know, one of the best things about Indeed is that no other job site takes care of you quite like Indeed, because with Indeed, you only have to pay if an applicant meets all those must-have requirements that you need for the job. And to hammer that home, Indeed's the only job site where you only pay for applications that meet your must-have requirements. Indeed is an unbelievably powerful hiring partner, delivering 4 times more hires than other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest 2019. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. And Indeed's doing something no other job site has done. Now with Indeed, businesses only pay for quality applications matching the sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/bomb to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/bomb. Indeed.com/bomb. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
So I'm reading here that Red Wings means.
Oh no, Jen, no.
Yeah. Oh, he passed out.
All right.
He's back.
Okay. That's a definition for sure.
Yes.
So, Jeffy, are you trying to go for a Spindrift sponsorship here? I saw you open the can and then just go.
and then he also spun the label out. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, what can you do when you're this refreshed, right?
I am so refreshed right now thanks to
God.
Spindrift water. I'm a big fan of the grapefruit myself.
Steph, do we have any Spindrift?
Jen, how many calories does your can have? Because mine has only 3, and that just seems like
Wait. Why does yours only have 3? Mine has 17.
Yeah, because you got the grapefruit. Grapefruit's fucking caloric as fuck. Everyone knows that.
Oh, right,
Dude,
right.
I'm
Lucy
not
can't have. Yeah.
I can't have it.
Yeah.
Well, you can have the lemon one,
I love
and
lemon.
you'll be all set.
I love lemon. I love lamp. I love video game news. And I'm playing the music and vamping while I go panically get the file because it didn't save here. And I'm going to keep talking. Maybe I'll start rhyming again if folks are into that.
Oh,
No.
God.
No? All right, well, here's the song. News. Video game news. Time after time. News. Video game news. Jeff Grubb.
Yes. Let's see. Our top story is.
Jan, I'm gonna fart.
Wow.
Wait a minute. I love how like he fucking announced it. I don't think
he
couldn't
announced
watch
it.
the clip.
I think that was the fart just bursting everything inside of him out. Like it was so like the pressure was so built. He's just like, I gotta say something, Jan. I'm gonna fart.
I just love that he sounds like he was about to implode and needed to give everyone in the blast radius the last minute heads up. I couldn't
He's
watch.
about to go full Akira. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh
I couldn't
my
watch the clip
God.
because I was too like my mind was playing too many tricks on me because I was afraid to watch it. Quite frankly, I could not bring myself to do it. But hearing that, I think I got what I needed.
The panic.
Can
is
you
truly,
just one more time? Just one more time.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Jan, I'm gonna fart.
Folks, and that's just what you can look forward to as soon as I figure out how to get this archive up of the SF office.
That could have been his last words, like as far as we knew. As far as we knew.
Jen.
There was a clear point. I don't even remember when that happened in like the grand scheme of Extra Life, because there was a point where Rorie and I just had to. There was 2 points where I was like, "This was a terrible idea to start at midnight." One, Rorie and I started talking about race relations and just full lean back, just staring at each other, and just being proud of heritage. Of like, yeah, like I'm glad to celebrate my Filipino roots. I'm glad that Yolanda celebrates her Hispanic roots as well. And then the second one, of course, being Rorie's farting, and then also us actually thinking about whether or not we are still drinking too much or we're early drinking, and we got to that point.
That's a lot. There's a lot of risks with starting the midnight train of doing an extra.
Going
life
anywhere.
marathon. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It went through right through Rorie, it turns out.
Yes, woof. And the note that toot hits, it's quite powerful stuff.
Yeah, have you seen that video where
brown
someone where someone's done someone's farted and then someone said this is actually like a perfect scale, and then they take the fart and they go.
Very good.
I'm gonna need to look at the waveform of that fart now.
That's
Yeah,
hard
absolutely.
to
There's
do.
some secrets in there. Yeah,
That's the episode art right there, the thumbnail of that fart. Mm-hmm. Or waveform.
There is a Nintendo Indie World happening tomorrow at 9 a.m. It's going to take place for roughly 25 minutes, and that's 9 a.m. Pacific time. This one of their normal things. They do these about twice a year. Usually they do one around GDC in March. Happened a little bit earlier this year, but then they do a second one around this time. 25 minutes. That's a pretty long time to show off a lot of smaller games, which do sell very well on the Switch. Nintendo's had a lot of success with a lot of indie games. Hades is a major one, but Golf Story. And so it's like, what could be in here? The problem is there are so many indie games, you really have no idea. So people start talking about Silk Song. Will we see that? Well, who knows? That showed up, that reappeared at an Xbox showcase a few months back. So it's like, well, maybe it won't be here. But then we do still have the sequel to Golf Story, Sports Story. Maybe that could be there. I would love to see that. But again, I just don't know. Does anyone have any indie games that they've been waiting for, craving to hear more about that you think might show up at this show?
I've heard a lot of good.
Out.
Oh,
So it's called.
Birth?
Oh, right, the Shadow game?
Oh, is that the one you're talking about?
That's on
I
my
just
radar.
searched. I just searched for Birth. Oh,
Okay.
God.
Right.
Still on Urban Dictionary.
No. There was one that we played at Summer Game Fest that was really fun. Or it was like, you basically make a friend. Which is kind of weird, I guess.
I'm gonna search
But
GameSpot Birth for PC.
I don't know if we might have posted the trailer. It's on the Game Awards YouTube channel.
Is it developed by Madison Carr?
I
sound familiar?
believe so. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Like spooky vibe, puzzles, very similar to like
Right.
Little
okay.
to the Left. It's just, putting things in order, and then
the
this
bone
guy,
one, right?
Yeah, the bone guy.
Little
The
bone man.
bone guy.
Yes, I just put it in our
Alright,
chat if you want to look a little bit
Yeah.
closer. Yeah, that looks very cool. There's been a lot of indie games showing up in stuff like the Steam Next Fest. It's like, oh yeah, any one of those could then reappear here, and even Shadow Drop. Who knows? I mean, it would be a good year or a good time of year to Shadow Drop your indie game. Sure, a bunch of big games did just come out, but people will be buying a lot of consoles here in the next couple of months for the holidays, and they're going to want to buy stuff for it. So give them a reason to show up into the eShop and pick up your thing is always a good thing. It is for me. It does come down to the sports story. That is, I don't think Silk Song will be there. So, and I love Golf Story. I really do love Golf Story. So, someone else in chat points out, and this is one that has occurred to I think a lot of people. Is this when we get Vampire Survivors on the Switch?
Get it on.
Boy, howdy.
Oh my God.
Seems like that's a no-brainer at some
No
point, right?
brainer. That seems like waiting to make a lot of money by going to Switch. Yes.
Yeah.
Ruining me on every platform, huh?
Everyone here Vampire Survivors fans? Because I've been playing it again
Yes.
recently and just
Yeah, I only actually
over
just
again.
I only actually broke it open for the first time a couple weeks ago, and yeah.
Oh, that 1.0 though.
Have you guys done the Twitch integration? I did that for Extra Life.
No.
It's so good.
What is the Twitch integration?
So
I haven't
you
seen
just
it.
put your name in there, and then it just monitors chat, and then when you get an upgrade, so when you upgrade a level, and you have like the three things to pick from, your chat can vote on that by putting in a number, and then every minute or so you'll get like a luck thing, and then chat can vote on that. It'll be like one of three things, and it could be something like the fire breath, which is that powerful fire
Damn.
ability, or it could be a swarm of bats. It could be like I forget what it's called, like the night comes and then you get swarmed by a ton of bats, and it's like very hard early on in the game. And when they're voting, when chat's voting, it's not like just like check mark. The names of the chatters will show up like over the things they're voting for, so I could see
that's
like
sick.
a frequent
That's
chatter just
cool.
voted for a thing that's gonna fuck me over. I saw you do that, and I can yell at them and stuff, and they can be like, well, I want you to die, this is awesome. And it's like really good interactions. It's definitely worth like playing around with. I was doing that for quite some time. That would be great to have on Switch. So we'll see. And then it's probably going to be a lot of stuff that we just can't anticipate, because there's always a million indie games coming from developers that probably have existing relationship with Nintendo. And they're like, hey, I want to put my next game out, or my first game as an indie developer out. Can I be in the indie world? And Nintendo's has a very good relationship with that community. So we'll see. 25 minutes though, and we'll have I'm sure we'll check in on that tomorrow for our game this morning.
Many farming games do you think are going to pop up?
Oh, like 10.
Yeah, right. Because there was about 4 or 5 in that Nintendo Direct a couple months ago, and now the indie versions of those could overtake this thing. I bet there's at least 2. I bet there's at least 2 farming.
Over
games.
under is
You
2.5.
know what?
Yeah.
You know what?
2.5.
I genuinely indie games that I really want and related to farming games, because the maker of Stardew Valley is making Witchbrook Academy.
Yes.
Is that what it's called? I want that game.
That's like
I thought that was the
yeah.
chocolate. There was a chocolate game or something.
Yeah, it was the Chocolatier or something.
No, it's just called Witchbrook, which is Stardew, but at Hogwarts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just called Witchbrook, and it looks great.
This is from Chucklefish, which is
so it's not Concerned Day, but
it's the team that like helped put Stardew everywhere. Yes, but it's not from the guy himself that did Stardew. But Witchbrook looks fantastic. Yes, that looks like another game that could totally. I would love to have on Switch. And either way, we'll hear about it tomorrow. Now I'm like doing the time ahead. We'll have to talk about that on the next day's Game Mess Mornings. But we'll catch up on that and everything. Next up, Sony has reportedly partnered with NCSoft to make a Horizon MMORPG. NCSoft obviously is that South Korean studio that previously made Guild Wars, which was a long time like the alternative to World of Warcraft. This is going to be part of Sony's big push into live service games. This will apparently be one of those 10 to 12 live service games. NCSoft is currently recruiting developers to work on the title, which is said to be listed as Project H in its job ads. When asked about it, they basically were like, hey, we can't talk about anything until a publisher talks about something. Which almost seemed to confirm that's exactly what's happening here. And so far, neither party has denied that this is the case. I got to ask, is this what any of you want? A MMORPG based in the Horizon universe?
So I'm not the biggest fan of Horizon.
Me either.
Yeah, and I was going to ask y'all, follow-up question, is there a lot of fervor that I'm unaware of the Horizon universe?
People love Horizon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's a very, like, by the numbers, pretty cynical approach to an open world game, if I'm honest. Like, I don't particularly think it has anything that engaging.
Right.
Like, especially the more I've sat on it. Like, when I was playing it earlier in the year, because, God, it came out earlier this year, I was just like, some of the moments, yeah, I enjoyed, but ultimately it's just like,
Yeah. Agreed.
no, not for me. And then Elden Ring came out, blew it out of the water. So, you know.
But I mean, even imagining a person who is fully on board with Horizon, is this what they want? I really don't think so.
I mean,
do people? I guess the question is like, do people just want to stay there?
Right. Is this
And
the way you get them into the game world long term?
Right.
Yeah.
And like for me, the answer is hard no.
yeah, I don't think so.
But yeah, but people love Horizon, so I don't know.
What would the gameplay loop even be? Just like, all right, I'm gonna take this monster and harvest its parts 20 times to build this one
Like,
component.
There are different tribes, right? There's like the Nora, there's the Sun people. Maybe like you join one of those, and then it's up to you to, I don't know, maybe not get territory, but like, you know, build up some stuff.
I could see it very much being
some
that.
monsters
But then it's Monster Hunter and it's collective.
Yeah.
It's like big, massively multiplayer Monster Hunter. I could see that, like where it's like, okay, our tribe needs to get prepped for the big raid to take on this, huge monster, and that's going to require a bunch of us working together. There's an appeal there. Obviously, the Monster Hunter genre is having a moment right now where all of these publishers are like looking over them and be like, hey, we need to be going in that direction. And this could be a sort of way of bringing together Horizon, MMO-ness, and Monster Hunter into one thing. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Either way, part of Sony's live service push, a lot of those games are going to come and go. That's just the way it is with these games. We'll see what happens with this one. The European Union is opening its in-depth investigation into Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition. Man, this story just keeps happening, doesn't it?
No, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, so this is the EU expanding its look into the acquisition, something that the UK has already done. And the EU says it should take about 90 working days. That puts it up to about the middle of March. And the commission explained that it's opening up the in-depth investigation because it's, quote, concerned that the proposed acquisition may reduce competition in the markets for the distribution of console and PC games. And unlike the UK, which is just hyper-focused on what Sony is hyper-focused on, Call of Duty, the EU seems specifically interested in the potential that if Microsoft, which makes Windows, owns all these big games like Call of Duty, does that mean that those games won't come to Mac, and that will give Windows an advantage over other operating systems?
Fucking spoiler alert, they don't come to Mac anyway.
Exactly. So it's already kind of like, listen, that's part of that's Mac's fault for just not being a very great environment for gaming. But it's like, okay, I guess look into that. Fundamentally, I'm not opposed to regulators trying to say, hey, will this mess things up so bad that it's going to ruin things for consumers and ruin things for competitors in this space? It's just like, this one also doesn't seem like it'll amount to much.
Exactly. It's like, don't waste your fucking money. Like, come on. Chase down the leads that have potential. This is, I could tell you this out of the gate. What's going to happen?
Yeah, and it's right. The PC operating system space is just so hardened. Like, it just feels like no matter what acquisition any of those companies are going to make, it's not going to really affect how people go and think about operating systems for as much as people actually think about operating systems. They really, for the most part, don't think about it at all.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, but still, that's just another one that's like, oh, Microsoft's got to worry about that, and we'll see what happens.
What is?
Yeah,
sorry, I'm just curious
Please.
as to like what other wrench in the gears is Sony going to try and throw to stall this even further, because the Call of Duty one's the biggest thing that they're trying to leverage.
That's a big card.
You know, like, are they going to suddenly be like, you know, we don't have Bejeweled on the PS5?
I think if they had another thing to play, they would have done it by now. I think they like, for them, it's very much all about Call of Duty, even though it's like the promises have been made repeatedly for Microsoft that those things won't change, and really they keep expanding on that promise. And of course, that's a verbal agreement in the public and not anything that's been written down. But, you know, Phil Spencer last week was like, as long as there's a PlayStation to ship to, we will keep shipping you Call of Duty. But if you think about it, how much money is on the line? It's not just, the game sells a lot on PlayStation. Their numbers for PlayStation Plus have really stagnated. You know, they lost 2 million since relaunching PlayStation Plus with Essential and all that stuff and Premium. And it's like, okay, they're losing stuff. They cannot be in a world where Call of Duty is not on PlayStation, because that is what sells the most PlayStation Pluses. That's the biggest thing there. So for them, fighting tooth and nail is always going to be worth it, because it's that important to their service numbers. Switch has hit 114 million as Nintendo lowers sales forecast. Nintendo Switch hardware sales have hit 114.3 million as of September 30th. That's up from 111 million at the previous time that they reported that, though the company expects to sell fewer consoles this fiscal year. So the company was expecting to sell 21 million. It's lowering that to 19 million. A lot of that seems to be it's not just component shortages anymore. It now does seem to be the Switch is selling just a little bit slower than previously, which makes sense. It's at the end of its life, or what should be the end of its life.
Everyone already has one.
Seems like exactly.
Take it up back. It's time to get a new one.
Right. I mean, it does feel like maybe does that move up the timeline for that stuff. But, you know, of course, the system's still making a lot of money. They're still selling a lot of games. Let's see. During the 3-month period ended September 30th, Splatoon 3 sold a huge 7.9 million units, which is Nintendo's fastest Switch launch ever. This was followed by Nintendo Switch Sports at 6.15 million, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with another 3.07 million, and Kirby the Forgotten Land at 2.61 million. I think that brings the total for Kirby specifically up to above near 6 million, which makes it the best-selling Kirby ever. So there's a lot of positives here, but you could feel like the tide turning, and Nintendo probably thinking, oh, we really do need to ramp up for that next, whatever the next thing is, right?
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think that is?
Switch Pro.
Yeah, I think it's a Switch Pro. And I think
a year from now, maybe?
Yeah, I think I'm starting to really think it's 2023. And that comes back to not just these sales numbers, which, okay, they're lowering their forecast from 21 million to 19 million. They are usually very conservative. They probably will still end up selling 21 million. I know Bloomberg got a quote. Yeah,
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Bloomberg got a quote from Sirkin Toto, who is an analyst in Japan, and he's like, this thing's probably still going to just sell a ton over the holiday, and it's going to be just fine. But even still, it's like the numbers are slowing down somewhat, and piracy has just become a big topic associated with the Switch, right? Every single game. You could go play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet right now. That game's not out yet. You can go play it right now, though, if you want to. If you want to take, and Nintendo knows this, and that's one of the biggest things. They don't want piracy to flip on the other side, where it's like, why would I buy a Switch? I just play these games on my PC. And so the one way they can fight against that is with new hardware.
I don't know if I don't know if the hardware sees the light of day next year, but we definitely find out about it before.
We definitely hear about it. Okay. Yes.
Right. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. I think we definitely hear about it at the very least.
Is it weird and naive to think that, I don't know if Nintendo has really thought about future-proofing stuff and just thinking that far ahead, that they're just like, nope, just gonna stick to the Switch?
I think that they probably had things in mind, but they are their strategy quickly became stick with the Switch multiple times after, like, okay, we are going to begin the process of doing a Switch Pro. Never mind, just stick with the Switch. I think that is what's happened so far. And it's worked out for them. They've made a lot of money with this thing. So I feel like I'm a sucker because I don't quite care about like The Last of Us Part 1 remaster, right? Because I played that in my head at least fairly recently, and like the age of the Switch is showing. Someone in chat mentioned it'll be 6 years old this February, which is wild to think.
But if they announced that a Switch Pro is coming out at the end of next year, and it's going to come with a 4K remaster, redone version of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I will buy it day one.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Bayonetta 3 could use.
Bayo could
use that
definitely
stuff.
use a
Hell yeah.
little one
A little
soda.
love, a little zhuzh.
A little zhuzh.
Double dose of that. Yeah.
How do you spell zhuzh?
Z
You can't.
Z.
ZSUZSH.
Sure.
Zhuzh.
Oh,
Zhuzh.
it's Z hush, but then the S in hush is
Hush
a Z.
is Z.
Yep.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Zhuzh.
Cool.
Zhuzh.
All right.
Found it out. Found it out.
Zhuzh.
The 10 best-selling Switch games ever as of September 30th, 2022. Number one, still Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was that number, 48.41 million copies sold.
Just insane.
Now, this is Nintendo. This is them counting stuff. So they're counting the ones that ship with the bundle. Of course, still there's a lot of games that go with bundles that don't get anywhere near with that for other systems. So. Yeah, 50 million copies is well within sight for this thing. It will hit that before the end. I mean, it'll hit that this holiday probably, honestly. So yeah, that's just a massive number for any game. Animal Crossing New Horizons did pass the 40 million mark, 40.17 million. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate about to pass the 30 million mark, 29.53 million. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 27.79 million, the best-selling Zelda game by a huge margin. Pokemon Sword and Shield, 25.37 million. Super Mario Odyssey, 24.4 million. The best-selling 3D Mario game by a pretty large margin.
Wow.
Super Mario Party at
Gross.
18.35 million.
Nightmare.
It is. That's why they always kept making those games, but then those games just shot up in popularity even on the Switch. Mario Party Superstars not in this top 10. It's on its way though. It's selling super.
Relax.
Is that a
super
threat,
fast.
All right,
Jeff
we're just
Grubb?
Yeah, is that a threat?
Listen, guys, I just report the news. You guys can take it how you want. All right,
Yeah,
don't
but you
shoot the
can-
messenger.
Look, you choose to leave out a couple things, won't kill you. Okay.
It's like it's just so like fuck you, don't you dare say that.
Yeah. Fuck you for the news. Fuck the news.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, 14.92 million. Ring Fit Adventure, 14.87 million, and Pokemon
yeah.
Let's Go, 14.81 million. All of that is really good, especially you hear all those Pokemon games. Even still, this year is probably still going to be the best year ever for Pokemon because they had Pokemon Legends Arceus be a massive success in the first part, and then later this year they're going to have a few weeks, right? Scarlet and Violet, which is also going to be a massive hit. So I don't know, just it's always a reminder that the numbers Nintendo hits with its first party games are significantly higher than what Microsoft or Sony are doing, or anyone really, any publisher's doing.
Yeah, they're not hurting from Call of Duty not being on the Switch.
Yes, exactly.
Remember when it was on the Wii U though? What a time.
Yeah.
What
was
is
like
it?
Call of Duty 4 on the Wii. I remember that.
I remember playing whatever Call of Duty that was on the Wii U launch. I remember playing it in bed on the handheld and being like, this is a neat little thing that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Cute
And then,
thing,
like,
huh?
And then my dog passed in between me and the console and it broke. And that
Yeah,
and that was it.
Blame
That
it on the
shit didn't work.
dog.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And just to reiterate, The Forgotten Land is reportedly now the best-selling Kirby game ever. And the reason it's reportedly is we don't have super strong numbers for Kirby's Dream Land, but the reported number is 5.13 million copies, and that comes from the Computer Entertainment Suppliers Association in Japan. The number for Forgotten Land is 5.27 million. So,
Goddamn.
really good. It turns out
Mouthful
taking a
mode.
beloved Nintendo mascot and turning it into a 3D platformer is a key to success. So expect more of that going forward. And that's great. I think that's wonderful. We went too long without getting a 3D Kirby, right?
UrbanDictionary.com.
Don't
No,
look
no,
for
no,
mouthful
no.
mode.
No.
Mouthful mode.
Oh, there he goes.
That was in the game. I'm not making anything.
All
wrong
right.
there.
It's. I know.
Oh, I know.
It doesn't ring up anything. It doesn't ring
Oh,
up
no.
anything.
Well, hey,
It's a nice
listen,
little image of Kirby.
you can contribute to that site right now. You can finally get off your ass and do something, Jan. This is your moment.
Here we go. I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use both cheeks because I don't half-ass anything.
Nintendo is establishing a joint venture company with mobile firm DNA, and this one's a bit confusing for me, but let's go through it. Nintendo has announced the formation of a new subsidiary company with DNA Company Limited, the Japanese firm behind many of its mobile games. The new company, Nintendo Systems Company Limited, will open in April 2023 in Tokyo, owned 80% by Nintendo, and focus on, quote, the development and operation of services to strengthen the digitalization of Nintendo's business. Nintendo first partnered with Japanese mobile firm in 2015 and acquired 15% of the overall company. DNA has released several mobile games with Nintendo's supervision since, including Miitomo, Super Mario Run, Fire Emblem Heroes, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and Mario Kart Tour. The reason this is confusing for me is I thought, didn't they do this dance already back in 2015? When it's we're going to partner with DNA and they're going to provide background services for us and all this other stuff. And it's okay, no, we're doing that again. And now we have a new company founded by DNA to do that. Apparently this is not just for mobile stuff. They said this is going to be services for a variety of Nintendo devices. Is this going to be them finally figuring out the internet for their products? Because I'm not getting my hopes up for that again.
Yeah, I've been hurt before.
I've been hurt before, Lucy. Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm reading this quote and I'm like, what the hell are they even trying to say?
Right.
To strengthen the digitalization of Nintendo's business. The joint venture company will research and develop as well as create value-added services to further reinforce Nintendo's relationship with consumers. What the fuck does that mean?
Right. So it's is this them saying, DNA is going to build their equivalent to PlayStation Plus Premium and Extra or something even that? It's I mean, Nintendo's kind of already got Nintendo Switch Online, so are they going to build new services on top of that? We'll see, but it's the digitalization of Nintendo's business feels like a phrase from 20 years ago. It feels like you guys didn't do that. Well, no, Nintendo definitely still uses fax machines, or at least they did up until the pandemic. I don't know if that's changed much, but yeah, they could use some digitalization. I just don't know what that means when they say it's going to change our relationship with consumers. How does I already get all Nintendo stuff digitally?
It's just so obtuse. It is the most. I don't. How can anyone realistically digest this information?
Yeah, Snakely Sonic's got it in chat. If the Miiverse isn't coming back, I don't want to hear it. And the Miiverse was so good. I love the Miiverse.
Me too.
It's never
that's the only
back.
That's the only metaverse I would care about.
Yes, me too. Absolutely, and you're right, Jana. It was too beautiful for this world. We didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
True.
Steam database update seemingly confirms Returnal for PC. Months of speculation has now been confirmed. A Steam listing that was once called Codename Oregon, it still is referred to as Codename Oregon, first arose earlier this year. Now an update happened briefly for that into the database entry for Codename Oregon that has alleviated any doubts that it wasn't going to be Returnal. The database entry briefly read that this game Returnal, and then it had a bunch of other codes right next to it. And then that name Returnal was edited out about an hour later. So this game, someone biffed. So everyone said, this is Returnal coming to PC. Yeah, that's pretty much guaranteed to happen. The pace of PlayStation games coming to PC, at least not in terms of when they hit PlayStation, then they hit PC, but how frequently Sony is putting stuff out on PC has increased. It also seems like the fervor has died down. At least if you look at something like Sackboy's Big Adventure, which seemed to fizzle out in terms of its PC
people really
release.
Clamoring for Sackboy to hit that PC,
we talked about that. Yeah.
Right. So you guys think that the Returnal should return to form, which is what I believe. Is that what you think?
So.
Yeah. Yeah, Returnal was one of those that, despite having a PS5, was I want to check that out. Definitely want to check that out. And then, Grub, when you start reporting the rumors, I was like, I'm going to check that out when it hits the PC.
Yeah, mouse controls in that game sounds very cool. Sounds very good. Sure. I would like that a lot. So yeah, I think we could probably expect this here still pretty soon. Dreams is another good one in chat. TS type art. Why is that not coming to PC? Wouldn't that just make the most sense?
That would be a huge deal. Yeah.
It's where it belongs.
Yes, it's where it belongs. They should have done that forever ago. But yeah, Returnal. I'll play that again on PC. That's a game I really like.
It's great.
Great. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, I figured it out eventually, but yeah, mouse controls might make it easier. AEW Fight Forever may come to Xbox Game Pass on day one. That's right. Fight Forever. It could do so. Reportedly, according to WrestleZone. Excuse me, WrestleZone, a dirt sheet got there eventually. No, I got there. Russell's own a dirt sheet that says that will happen. THQ Nordic and making plans with Microsoft to bring it to Game Pass on day one. If that's true, it will be an opportunity for this game to reach an audience where previously it would have been struggling to compare itself to WWE's games, which have had years and years and years of support. This one is getting a start from the ground up, and it's going to be content light most likely, and not going to have a ton of features. So.
Wait, an update.
Yeah,
Drop
please.
the link.
Okay, let's see this.
Oh my god. They said it's not.
Okay, they definitely confirmed. That's what I was going to ask. This does occasionally happen with games where people mention could be coming to Game Pass and that it ends up not happening. So
It's not going to be part of any monthly gaming subscription services. We don't anticipate it.
Right. Okay. So this is from AEW Games on Twitter. So officially, they say this also seems like a good time to share that we don't anticipate AEW Fight Forever being part of any monthly gaming subscription services. AEW Fight Forever will be available in store at your favorite retailers or online. Reserve your copy today at AEWTHQNordic.com. So even if this was like in conversation, which could be possible, Microsoft talks to a lot of people who end up saying we're going to wait and see. We're going to wait and see. And every sort of third party Game Pass day one deal that has happened so far, with maybe the exception of the second year that MLB happened, came together in the last couple of weeks, maybe even like the last week before release, because these companies usually want to say, we want to see what the pre-orders are like. We want to see how things are tracking. And then they make decisions based on that. And then Microsoft's like, okay, we'll make it happen. We'll make it happen for you in the last week. So this game, we still don't know exactly when it's coming out, although they've said fall. Was that part of this? Okay, yeah. Hang tight for a new exclusive AEW Fight Forever update next Saturday, November 19th, during AEW Full Gear. So they might actually finally announce the real date at that time. We still don't know. They've said fall. Fall's have got about a month and a half left. They don't have a ton of time to actually give us that date. So we'll see.
Don't rush it.
Yes, don't rush it.
Giving me the scoops, damn it.
Yeah. What happens to this dirt sheet now?
Oh, nothing. This is how they
throw
work.
it straight into the trash.
That's right. Yeah.
Also, not to
go
talk
ahead.
about wrestling real quick, man, but Jesus Christ, I hate to say that Logan Paul can fucking wrestle.
He's a really good wrestler. It's not too surprising, right? Like they've been selling their entire lives, so he could sell in the ring.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just been it's a really unfortunate, but yeah.
It's very unfortunate.
He can
Yeah,
go.
that's a good way to put it.
It's every day, bro. Do you ever watch his song?
No.
That's what I was referencing. Oh, he has a song called It's Every Day, Bro, and it is quite something. It's Every Day, Bro, with that Disney Channel flow is, I believe, a line.
Oh,
Okay.
Lucy, what are you doing to us?
What?
Oh, yeah.
What his song is? I didn't make it up.
You did come up with the definition of Red Wings, but you didn't. You're not available.
I didn't come
you're
up
not
with
responsible
that.
For this. Okay. All
I
right.
just-
Some say.
She's very
you type real
online,
fast.
very
Too
online show.
online.
Is on a hiatus.
Too
We
online.
gotta eke it out somehow.
I know,
Eke it out.
I know. Eke it out.
PSVR 2 is $550. Seems like a lot of money. What do you
a lot
guys
of
That's
think?
too much.
That's too much for me. My
It's like
personal.
it could not be a worse time. Like I just feel like it is the thing that nobody wants for too much money right now.
I think it's a bit harsh. I also think I agree with you.
But it is harsh, but also like I mean, if you follow that up with like Astrobot 2, all these other games that you
Yeah.
absolutely have to play, then you're
Yeah.
like, "Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe okay. What? No, none of that. Well,
Right,
then-
none of, and you're on that. You're not. He's not exaggerating, right? But none of that. We've had
None of
zero of those kinds of games that have really been. I mean, Horizon Call of the Mountain. People seem to enjoy that. Jan, you did play that, right?
Yeah, and then that was really entertaining. But I don't know if I want like another first person shootery type of game. It looked really pretty, and I think it was a good demonstration of the hardware, but I want weird VR stuff. Like, how come I wasn't like any of the animals or robot animals in Horizon? That'd be sick.
Yeah. I don't think that franchise can carry the PSVR launch in a way that they're hoping it can.
Yep, and they're having that franchise carry a lot of water. Now we talked about the MMO,
exactly.
PSVR launch game.
Popular, man.
I
mean, they sell.
How
but
did
they
it
don't
do? Yeah, how did it do?
I don't know. I actually don't know if they've given us an updated one. I think it did okay, but I don't think it didn't set the world on fire. It's no Luigi's Mansion 3, is what I think.
Exactly.
And what is really?
What is a Luigi's Mansion
11
3?
million copies sold or whatever for that thing.
Oh, we're gonna have to wait a decade for 4. You know?
Yeah, probably.
That's
Yeah,
what's gonna happen.
yeah.
The thing about PSVR 2 is that, like, I have an Oculus Meta Quest, whatever the hell it's called. I can't go back to something with wires.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, aren't you a VR snob?
No, but that's the thing. It's like I appreciate the freedom of the movement, and I just don't want to be tied down, Jeff. Okay, let me be free.
No
let me
strings
Lucy
fly.
James is a
baby.
bird. Lucy James has got to be free.
Let me fly.
Okay, now say it as
That's a
Jennifer
lot of
Coolidge.
money.
Yeah.
Let me fly. No.
I think that they are going to have to announce more games for this launch because as it stands, there are a total of 2. Horizon, Call of the Mountain, and Among Us VR, which I actually could be a killer app if I'm being honest.
Yeah, maybe.
But those are the 2 confirmed for launch. There is a long list of games, dozens of games that are coming to this device, but many of them are ports from other things, so there's already a tampered excitement for those. And then the rest are we don't know when they're coming. And even among those, there's none that stand up as a must-have or the thing that is getting everyone talking. There's just very little excitement around the game lineup as it is. So it's like that makes it hard. I think if you were saying, I bought a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox One or Xbox Series X and S at launch when they had very few games. It's like, well, the promise is a little bit different. I know that third parties are going to support those things. These first parties are going to have to put out games just to like justify their existence. That stuff, I can believe that promise. With VR, I'm a little more skeptical because one day the content host could just get turned off
100%.
and Sony could decide I'm not putting any more money into this. And if they don't fund things, does anything get made for VR? That's a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question, and I just need to ask this because I have experts before me and experts listening. If I just wanted a VR headset to watch movies on, because Norm Chan of Tested talked about
kind of
watching
movies?
What kind of movie?
just normal movies, y'all. Not
Why would you want that?
Yeah. You don't want that.
He was saying that he watched like a 4K ProRes version of the Avatar 2 trailer that looked like it was projected on a 20-foot screen. All right.
The trailer.
4
minutes.
The trailer.
You don't want to wear that for 2 hours.
Dog,
I
I'm buckle up, baby. Throw me in.
Put me in with the D box or whatever, with those chairs that throw me around. I'll fuck myself up for a movie, Jan. I'm right there with you.
That's an insane thing to do to yourself.
Yeah,
sure,
like your
sure.
neck is gonna hurt.
Who needs one of those?
Met Jeff Grubb and I, 2 uniquely different broken
Necked
individuals.
boys.
Willfully throwing themselves into the line of danger for no apparent reason, with
Down
no
the
regard for human
stairs,
life.
into the dumpster.
It's just for the angle. I don't get it. I don't understand why anybody would want a heavy-duty motorcycle helmet on their head for 2 hours
They're getting lighter.
watching. They're getting lighter, but until they are just straight-up glasses like you and I wear, no.
What if instead, to watch your movies, buy a little projector and then just project it onto the ceiling, and then you can be completely horizontal, just looking up. You know, great
Because
time.
you need like one with like really bright bulbs to properly get the
Get some
projection
blackout
going.
blinds. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to a dark room. No, or don't put the dark room on your head. I just don't get it.
A 4K projector is more expensive than a VR setup.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think at this point
probably.
still.
I don't know. I'm
they're
getting
getting more
influenced by
affordable.
TikTok a lot, so you know.
I've seen that same projector.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jan, you probably want the either the newest Vive or the Valve Index. Those will have the best
$1,000.
resolution.
That's $1,000, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I bet you I could find one at the office, actually.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, a Valve Index. They sent a bunch of those out for.
I have one.
Alex.
It's been in a box for a year and a half because I almost threw up from Boneworks.
That's a pile over there behind that couch. Right there.
Sorry.
Right there. I got to go get it.
It just seems like a lot of people in our chats are masturbating with VR's help, and I just like.
That's not,
problem
that was
with that?
not
Why-
my
are we-
intention.
are we gonna be
It's not my
judgy here?
intention.
No,
I didn't
I'm
know
not
this was
judging.
a judgy zone.
And
Look.
check.
I've never done it, okay? and I don't know. I just feel like I'm not above it. I'm not here saying like I'm above jerking off with a VR headset. I'm not saying
Put it
that.
on a box.
Clip that.
What I'm saying is I don't like. I'm scared to try it because I don't know if I can do it. And then if you don't finish, then what kind of situation have you given yourself? Where you're just sort of like dejected and taking off your helmet and like looking and be like, I failed that. I even failed that.
I mean, listen, we all
Why do you
make
sound
mistakes.
like that?
I just feel like because you're not speaking in your normal voice after you fail that.
No.
Yeah,
You know,
I know.
like I don't know if it's a thing where it's like I also need to see it, like if I need to see myself.
Well, in VR, you can make that happen. I promise you. But okay, here's what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of what you've described there. Add on top of that teledildonics, where it's like the machine
Alright, y'all.
controls.
I just wanted to watch a movies in front of me. We didn't have to take it this far.
Yeah,
I'm just
real
gonna rip it
short-
off.
I just
short
wanted to
movies.
watch like Wes Anderson or something in front of me
Yeah.
and some stuff.
Yeah.
We
I don't
don't
want,
have to
I don't want the
No.
machine to rip my dick off. That's what I'm
yell
worried about.
freaking Susio ass dudes and people out
Jeff.
there.
Jeff, did you never do any teledildonics over at CNET? Was there a beat
Yeah,
for
what's
that?
that? Isn't that the teledildonics capital of the internet?
First of all, yes. Second of all, I never did what now? What is this? I have to, is this
It's
me
like-
fucking a computer in some capacity.
Yeah, it's like if you were to connect a machine
Right.
to a computer that can be like a reverse dildo.
Right, like you
I actually
buy-
quite a lot on CNET.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm sorry, hang on. What's buttplug.io?
Is that redirect to CNET?
Let's move on to the next story. What's that next story about, huh?
Symbiogenesis is an NFT trash fire from
what's
Square
that?
Enix.
Where do I plug that in?
Buttplug.io. It has nothing to do with Parasite Eve. I can tell you that much now.
Or buttplug.io.
I mean, as far listen, I am not prepared to go that far. We don't know yet. The publisher describes Symbiogenesis as its first digital collectible art project designed from the ground up for Web3 fans, which fucking exist.
Oh, God.
God, I hate reading that. In addition, you can use your character in a story that takes place in an alternate world where the player can untangle a mystery by completing missions that revolve around questions of the monopolization and distribution of resources. And I'm serious, that's what they wrote.
It's crazy to be this far down the road to be so dug into this.
So this isn't even the end of it. So Square Enix this past week has put out it was either this week or last week. Last week I think now. They put out their earnings report, and in their earnings report they explained to investors that they are all in on NFTs and crypto. And it's not just this. There was a laundry list of about 6, 7, maybe even 8 things. Going from like, we have a fantasy NFT card game coming, and we're investing in this NFT crypto project, and it was like, it drove me insane just reading it. But it's like this is just the start.
There's something truly tragic about how late in the game all that stuff is, and like being this hungry and horny for it. Like I have a couple people still on my timeline who are just like, I spoke at a Web3 conference, and I'm just like, how are you still in it? How are you still in the thing? Who's giving the money? Where's that coming from? Because I can't see any serious person. See, Jan gets it.
Jan, what happened there?
Jan almost spit out his tonic water. I don't know what the fuck he was drinking.
I think I put the quote in from buttplug.io into the chat, and I think you read it. I think that's what happened.
Okay. We'll read that in a second.
Yes.
Just keep that. Jan confirms.
He did a spit take for the audio listeners.
Like a legit spit take. I haven't seen one of those since the 90s. That's awesome. I just feel like, how are you this invested, this deep into that bullshit rabbit hole where you're still doubling down on NFTs in November of 2022?
Yeah.
Have you been in a coma? Have you just woken up? What happened to you?
I mean, it's just like, it doesn't pass even the barest bullshit sniff test, right? It's just, you read this and you like, how are you guys so obtuse about what the reality of the world when it comes to this stuff? But this is Square Enix, and they're putting out a ton of smaller games right now while also working on Final Fantasy 16 and making a ton of money off Final Fantasy 14. And for some reason, like, well, video games or whatever, we got to make the real money, and that's all happening over on NFTs. And it's like, well, they have obviously not been paying attention to the downfall of that stuff, but we'll see. Maybe it's just maybe this is a big corporation in momentum, which would make them especially bad at getting into a volatile space like this. But they are not abandoning ship, which is just the weirdest thing.
We talked about like the possible angle that are they purposely trying to like tank the company to make them sellable, but this seems beyond that line of thinking.
This seems like true believer stuff.
Yeah, to arguably triple down, especially in like November of 2022, to double down on like Web3 NFT type of stuff, especially with like how the response to gaming and NFTs has gone throughout the year.
Yeah. You're betting on the Phillies today is what you're doing. Like, it's just insane.
Anyways, buttplug.io opens up by saying, Buttplug is an open source standards and software project for controlling intimate hardware, including sex toys, fucking machines, and more.
I mean, honestly, it makes perfect sense. They should be called that. It's the perfect. Yes. I'm sure they're a great company. Like, it just seems like
plug it in and it works.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It just works.
I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm getting.
As someone that had to clean up a lot of those, they do work.
Yep, they do work. The man's worked in the business.
Let's move on.
Isn't it a dishwasher situation with
the MPD Group?
I wish it was.
The MPD Group third quarter 2022 U.S. consumer spending on video game products decreased 5% to $12.34 billion. This comes from our friends over at the MPD Group. Anytime. According to the Q3 2022 Games Market Dynamics U.S. report from the MPD Group, consumer spending on video gaming in the U.S. totaled $12.34 billion, which is fun because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's in the third quarter of 2022. That's July to September. That's a decline of 5% when compared to Q3 of 2021, which of course was peak pandemic, part of the peak pandemic time, where everyone was inside looking for entertainment and not spending their money on going out, instead had a lot of money to spend on video games. So it makes a lot of sense. 5% though is not as bad as it could have been. They said specifically non-mobile subscription content and video game hardware spending were among the quarter's growth categories. So people are spending more on subscriptions and more on hardware, but they were unable to offset declines experienced across all the other segments. And this all seems right. This feels right with where gaming is at right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Subscriptions all the way.
Yeah. As people buy new hardware, they're buying games, but and new hardware is going to sell fast for quite some time, thanks to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S. As they're getting those, PlayStation Plus, Xbox Game Pass are no-brainers for a huge segment of those new console purchasers, right?
Absolute no-brainer. No, it's like the go-to move.
Let's see. Among the best-selling, most-played games across all platforms in the third quarter were still Among Us, Angry Birds 2, Bingo Blitz, Call of Duty Warzone, Candy Crush Saga, Candy Crush Soda Saga, Clash of Clans, Coin Master, FIFA 23, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, Madden NFL 23, Mario Kart 8, Minecraft, NBA 2K23, Pokemon Go, Roblox, Splatoon 3, The Sims 4, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Hey,
Sims 4 just went free, baby. That's why.
Yep. It's a list of very, very familiar games and franchises, and then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's like, I'm really impressed that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 gets mentioned among those games.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Maybe I just had blind. I'm sorry. I'm preemptive sorry. I have blinders on, perhaps. What's Coin Master?
Jeff, come on.
Is it a
Jan, tell us what's Coin Master.
Is it a gambling thing?
I don't want to embarrass Backlar by telling him what Coin Master is when we all know what Coin Master is.
Do you have Coin Master installed on your phone, Jan?
No, I didn't want to be the one to ask. Thank you, Backlar, for asking.
Is this little pig? Little freaky pig with a coin?
I can't.
Is he the Coin Master?
Why is he with Thor?
It's a slot game.
I'm sorry. Okay. No, I'm sorry, legit. Why is he with Thor?
Well, I mean, because
why is there a snowman with a gun?
Well, why wouldn't there be?
My friends.
Is this Olaf?
There are so many strange characters on the banner of Coin Master.
What makes Coin Master?
It's an Israeli place called
Spindrift.
Moon Active.
Moon Active. Yeah.
Moon Active.
Okay. Yeah, Tel Aviv. Yeah, okay. It's one of those
kind of
social
game
gambling games. Social casino is what it's called. which when you think about it, pretty weird thing.
I live in one. Let me tell you.
This is popular by accident. This is one of those things, right? Like
I think it's the one where it's like, oh, there is going to be one of those games that is very successful. There's going to be a mobile slot machine game that is just more popular than all the rest, and this just seems to be the chosen one right now.
This game's 12 years old.
This looks like the fake game, you know?
Yeah,
like,
this is
a fake game made for a TV show.
Yeah, 100%. This sounded all the alarm bells from that very online episode.
Oh wait, hang on. Someone says, please go to the advertisements part of the wiki. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Let's make this happen. In the meantime, improved supply of next-generation consoles provided a much-needed boost to consumer spending in the third quarter. Unfortunately, this increase wasn't enough to offset the lower content spending from a light release slate and macro factors impacting the video game consumer market. And that comes from Matt Piscatella, our friend. All right, what does it say?
Okay.
You want to read it, Luz?
The list of people who've been involved in adverts for this game.
Oh, hell
Jennifer Lopez, Khloe Kardashian, Kris Jenner, Scott Disick are featured in advertisements for Coinmaster. Other celebrities who have participated are Ben Higgins, Chris Harrison, Ray Stremerd, Terry Crews, Emily Ratajkowski, Cardi B, Joan Collins, David Schwimmer, Dieter Bohlen, Cheyenne, and the Spice Girls.
Wait, what is David Schwimmer advertising?
Weird.
David
Mobile video game.
Schwimmer.
Who asked him? How did that happen?
Advert.
But this. Oh no, that was Chandler.
That's Chandler.
David Schwimmer.
What a pivot
he doesn't
for
need
him,
that
huh?
money.
Oh, man.
Isn't he like a TV director? Oh, nice.
I'm sending it to you right here. Here you go.
Even I get that. Yeah, like isn't
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
big TV director? I thought.
He's playing it on this advert.
What?
1 second.
I sent it to you in our chat here.
It's weird.
Oh no.
He's playing that. He's doing one of those. I'm a local lawyer.
No, I'm watching one where he's trying to find someone from a lineup who beat him in Coinmaster.
Weird.
There's just a whole universe of video games that never even reaches us because I've never heard of this game, and it's been out for 12 years, and it's got David Schwimmer ads that they just would refuse to show me.
This is such a weird. I'm thinking about that collection of celebrities you listed off. That's so weird. Like,
It's a weird collection.
you have like the Kardashian Collective and then Ray Stremerd.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I'm
don't
sorry.
know.
Oh, I love them. Strem Life, one of the best albums of all time.
All right.
As a kid, say no cap.
I want to keep the show honest. It could be a 2015 release. Either way, that's.
I mean,
still
yeah.
a
When it comes to
while.
mobile, I mean, listen.
no one knows. There's no way
list
to
of
know.
games that I just read. I mean, all the mobile games are about 10 years old. Like
It could have been a different
Clash
game,
of Clans,
you know?
Candy Crush Saga, Angry Birds 2. I mean, these games. I mean, even like the newest mobile game on here, like Fortnite, maybe if we're going to count that. Roblox is from 2006. Pokemon Go is from 2016. Like, yeah, mobile games do not change. They just become popular and stay popular forever.
Mobile games. Mobile games never change.
That's right. Speaking of which,
Jennifer
Kojima
Coolidge?
rejects.
Yeah, come on.
That did sound like her Jennifer. Yeah, God, it's very good. Kojima rejects ridiculously high acquisition offers to stay independent. On his most recent podcast, Kojima admits he's received multiple acquisition offers and refutes rumors that of his canceled Stadia game. I guess we'll talk about that. But given his close working relationship with Sony, there was speculation at one point that Hideo Kojima's studio, Kojima Productions, would be next in line to be absorbed into that company. That didn't happen, though, with Kojima saying at the time that his studio will remain purely independent. And he says, basically saying, I'm going to, like, no matter what anyone brings to me, I want to be independent. I want to work on the stuff I want to work on. That, you know, I think I believe him to a certain extent, at least for the foreseeable future, right? This is, he wants to do what he wants to do. And then maybe at the end, he'll be like, you know, I'm retiring. Let's sell this thing. You guys think it'll go that way?
Maybe.
Konami just did a real fucking number on that poor guy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think-
maybe, yeah.
I mean, that corporate environment is what he's familiar with. Why would he want to be in anything that might reflect that?
Kojima doesn't strike me as the guy that's like after the bag, right? Like he just wants the
he's
freedom
got
to
the
make
bag.
the stuff.
I mean,
well, he's
Right,
had the bag, sure, but like he's not chasing deals.
No.
to
No,
specifically
The only
make
thing
the
he's
stuff.
chasing is celebrities to add to his collection. That's all.
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
yeah. Jennifer
just
Coolidge,
melt
watch
them all
out.
down. Yeah, seriously.
That would
After
rule.
this exposure,
I would love that.
you know,
The,
he's he's 59. Like, he's not even like this, aged out. Like, he's around. He's like, there might be a time to sell at some point.
Yeah. He's got he's got a couple of big projects left in him for sure. So he'll probably do that, and then we'll see what happens.
Is it bad that I wouldn't mind like the Tom Clancification of Kojima stuff?
No, I don't think that's bad. There's something like I would like Hideo Kojima's blank to become a thing going forward, so that when he is retired or when he's come to pass, we can continue to like live in that world where like you see the new Kojima game.
Here's a free idea out there for folks. Feel free to take this. You don't have to credit me, but I'd like it. Make Rainbow Six Siege, but it's Metal Gear Solid 5 competitive 5v5. People just shooting arms out and telling dogs and horses to poop.
I love
Isn't that what they tried to do with Metal Gear Online?
Well,
also survived.
They didn't try it too well.
Actually, the one they should do is the Spies versus Mercs. They should do that, and then Tom Clancy and Kojima or Konami should work together, and you should be able to have Sam Fisher and Solid Snake on a team going against some Mercs.
Second free idea: Hideo Kojima should get into Vampire Survivors and make Boktai Survivors.
Yes. Okay, we got it. Oh my God, I would love that. You have to play it outside in the sun to survive.
Especially with your phone, your like screen gets hella hot because it's outside.
It's got but it has like a sunlight sensor on it, right? So the Stadia thing, this just was a misunderstanding. At the time, there was a story from 9 to 5 Google that said Kojima took an idea to Phil Harrison at Stadia, and they were working on it together. And then Kojima was like, "Well, I'm gonna make this more single player." And then Phil Harrison's like, "Well, we're not gonna do it. We're canceling this relationship." That got reported, and then a bunch of sites apparently said because the 9 to 5 Google story referred to this as the follow-up to Death Stranding, a lot of people took that to mean the Death Stranding sequel. So then when Kojima heard about it, he said, no, we never talked about a Death Stranding sequel with Stadia, which almost certainly is true because Sony owns a part of Death Stranding, the IP and the copyright and all that. So
10 million players they just announced on that one too.
10 million players for that game, which is a very good. Right, that's a game that was like sold like 5 million copies just about a year and a half after its release, and now it's been on some services where people can get it. I think it hit PC Game Pass, right? So it's like, it was probably getting a lot more players. But yeah, obviously they were never going to do Death Stranding 2 with Stadia, but they were going to do something with Stadia, and that did get canceled. That did happen. So that does it for the news that is fit to bring to y'all this week. Jan, back to you, please.
Oh boy, I feel like I got to brush my teeth, take a third shower of the day, and just. Do you feel like you gotta?
Jan, I'm gonna fart.
Wow.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. The nights are getting colder and longer, and sometimes we can get lost in the sauce. We might start to feel extra weary and uneasy, especially with the holidays coming up as well. But it doesn't have to be that way, because with BetterHelp, you can get connected to a therapist to help guide you through these tough times. The best time to start or try therapy is always now. Talking to a therapist can really help you contextualize and see your problems from a macro view that you may not be able to see because you're so focused on the small details that are bothering you. I know that there may be a stigma with even seeking help, but put those anxieties aside because BetterHelp can help connect you to a licensed therapist in no time. And hey, it always feels great to get some feelings, thoughts, and miscellaneous emotions off of your chest in general. Don't let it fester, y'all. Seek help. Seek BetterHelp. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to help match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/Bombcast. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Bombcast. Thanks, BetterHelp.
I cannot stress to y'all how loud it was. the fart when I was there, when I was at Ground Zero.
Right, because you go on like you're like, did you guys hear that? And then the reaction I got, or that I understood from what I was watching, is chat exploded suddenly, and you're like, okay, they all did hear it. So then you like started laughing because everyone was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Backlog, please.
I think.
Do we relitigate Fartgate?
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, we're gonna unpack this till the end of time. I think Rorie's fart and Dan's Weed 3 fart should have to fight, and just see like which fart reigns supreme, because those two are very epic in the Giant Bomb canon of fart gates.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fart cannon.
It was a great idea of Jean-Luc's to like, hey, let's try shotgun mics out real quick instead of
Sounded great.
lavs or like the podcast mics we use. And I was like, yeah, great, cool. It'll make everything easier. It'll pick up virtually everything, and then it picked up everything.
Unfortunately, it picked up everything.
Yeah.
But now we know that's the way to roll moving forward, right? You know?
Oh yeah, I'm shooting myself in the foot because I saw those mics and I didn't pack them in the Pelican. I'm like, nah. Think about all the folks. We streamed the Great Giant Bombathon for 15-ish hours. Think about all the farts you missed.
Oh my gosh!
Think about that.
The thoughts we made along the way.
Yeah. With that, I think it's time to read some electronic mails. And here is the music. Emails are here. Go send them in. We'll read them today and maybe next week. Emails.
Can I say real quick? I was during the news segment. I was mentioning the Indie World Showcase, and I was trying to remember when the last one happened. I remember now. It's the one I overslept for, and I told you guys, "Hey, we have to do it." And like, we have to get up and watch this. We have to get up. And you guys were waiting for me, and I just was sleeping in. So that was in August. That was in August. Yep.
Wow. Yep. Feels like a year ago.
It does feel like much longer than August, but August feels like 5 years removed. Jesus. First email comes from Josh from Ottawa. Hey, Bomb Crew, do you have any weird, dumb fears? My wife likes to poke fun at me because I don't really like mirrors in our room. I have a weird, dumb fear of looking into mirrors in the dark because I'm worried something other than myself may stare back. I blame it on an episode of Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction I saw as a kid. Thank you for hours of entertainment, Josh from Ottawa.
Yeah, that's pretty stupid.
I love that.
Wow.
I'm afraid that I'm going to be looking, and then just out from the side will be that gif of Lucy looking in from her Jenga game.
Yeah.
Just like
her house burning.
Just sliding in. Yeah.
Me, like, smile.
Yeah.
I can relate. I'm married to a person who like thinks there's constantly people lurking in the shadows at any given moment. Yeah. We watch, but only after a scary piece of entertainment is consumed.
Weird how it always works out that way.
It's weird, very strange, completely irrational. And then if you ever become a parent, you're just like inundated with the dumbest shit you can possibly hear, like constantly having to tell a small person, like, my man, like, there's nothing. How could anything be in your closet for this long? The monster has to eat. If the monster, you can't live in there forever. How
if it has union mandated breaks, it has to take. It's not in there.
No way.
We watched the documentary. They're not doing screams anymore. They're after laughter.
I told you, Biden got elected. It's all he took care of it.
I related to that. My partner hates how my paranoid brain jumps to the worst conclusions when camping.
Sure.
I understand that's not fun. But
like a noise outside, that's Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's a serial killer. Yeah.
That's a white person. We got to do something. They're coming to get us.
It's like brown people camping. What are you guys doing?
I definitely told the Ghoulies 3 or the Ghoulies 2 thing in the toilet. That was my downfall.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely think like looking in the mirror. Sometimes I've had that thought where when the lights are out, it's late, nothing else is happening. That hasn't happened in this house yet. I think I'm just somehow I got comfortable with it right away. But I've definitely had that happen to me before. But at a certain point, it's like you got to look in the mirror at some point. You just don't say those words. You just don't say Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. I hope no one was like listening to this podcast and like in their bathroom looking in the mirror when that
looking
happened.
into a mirror.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't say it. You said it.
So. Yeah.
Right,
So that doesn't count. That doesn't
right.
count.
Just the podcast Candyman got him. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't say farty Rorie 3 times fast while looking at a mirror.
Never will. I never will.
God.
Rorie.
Flory.
Don't be near a speaker. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm afraid of biting down on a glass and it breaking in my mouth.
Oh yeah, sure.
I have a weird fear about that.
A truly weird one.
Yeah.
There's so many things like that I'm afraid of that I think has like messed me up physically. Like I'm afraid of annoying people with my breathing, so I'll try to like breathe quietly.
Oh.
So and I'm like, but that's like, so I'm like breathing like shallowly, and then it's like, oh, I'm not getting like enough oxygen, or I'm afraid that I will swallow my tongue while eating, so I'll be like overcompensating with my tongue and then like putting it in the wrong place in my mouth and like messing up my jaw and stuff. And listen, is there any wrong place really?
That's impossible, and you won't.
I mean, listen, the mind wants what the mind wants. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I think I've read stories of people doing that, but I don't think doing it while eating probably is pretty rare. So
yeah,
it's still. I'm not saying that you are like you're right, Bacalar. This is irrational.
Hey, I have plenty of irrational fears. I can totally relate. These, whether or not I think there's a difference between like dumb fears and irrational fears, right? Yeah. There is a Venn diagram overlap. But
I feel pretty dumb when I think about these things, though. So we'll see.
I like you.
Yeah, I used to have to drive around a white van around the city a lot, like a 15-passenger van, just a big one. And then I was constantly
selling your movies.
Constantly scared that like it would tip over because of all the hills in San Francisco. Meanwhile, like a bus or a garbage truck is like fucking taking a turn super tight, and they're fine. Yet me and my little 15-passenger van's like, we're gonna fucking tip over.
We're gonna go.
That is like, it's the weirdest thing, because like you could be afraid of like really stupid things, but then I'll get in a car driving 75 miles an hour, going one direction on the highway, and there's
playing
another
Marvel
car.
Snap.
You can play Marvel Snap, and there's another car like 4 feet over there going 75 miles an hour the opposite direction, and it's like, that doesn't bother me. I mean, someone slips up a couple feet and it's like a huge accident, really dangerous, but no, everyone seems to know what they're doing. We're good. And it's like, why am I not afraid of that? But I'm afraid of this stupid stuff. So, yeah.
All right. Next email comes from Michael from North Little Rock, Arkansas. Hey, Bombardiers. I've got a non-video game question for you guys, if that's okay with you. Is it okay with us?
It is. It's okay.
All right. Yeah. So my first career was a cook and a chef for about 12 years before I burned out, left the industry, and got a new career with more normal hours and expectations. I mostly avoided the chefy type shows while I was cooking. I was at work 12 to 15 hours a day, so my idea of relaxing did not include watching people pretend to do my job on TV. Since I got out, though, I've been slowly watching some here and there. The Bear on Hulu was particularly entertaining, and I found myself identifying with each character to different degrees. I also found it pretty realistic in its depiction of how some restaurants function day to day and the personalities and interpersonal relationships that happen. It's a bit over the top in areas, but largely more realistic than most similar shows I've seen. Anyway, that got me thinking. If there was going to be a TV show about your jobs, what personalities, occurrences, jargon, etc. would you want to see in order for the show to feel authentic to you? Bonus question. If you have time, feel like it, who would play each of you on the show? Thanks for the awesome podcasting and content. Arcade Pit's probably one of my favorite additions to the lineup, and hope you all have a good week. Michael from North Little Rock, Arkansas.
Carl Urban.
Oh, yeah. I could see that for you.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. I think this is funny because there was for a while Dan and I were talking about like the show that this world, like how would that make sense, right? Like the scripted comedy that would like work in the video game world. And I think it kind of like, because I don't think that Mythic Quest show does it. Right, I think that Mythic Quest show is like another show, right? Yeah. But I think it's also like another show wrapped around game development. You know what I mean? Like,
through a lens.
Yeah,
like it's similar to Silicon Valley.
I bit one of my own mustache hairs out and hurt myself.
New fear.
Oh, yeah?
New fear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Add it to the board.
Add it to the list. Woo.
Charlie Day would be good as Dan.
Yeah, I was trying to think who has the
you're
fucking
insulting Charlie Day, I think.
Who has the chaos that could handle Dan? I think Charlie Day is probably the best.
Yeah. Jeff Bacalar is played by The Rock. Yeah, that checks out.
The Rock? What?
Yeah. Checks out. I feel like there has to be an embargo episode where they're all
break an
freaking out.
embargo.
Yeah.
Oh, there has to be a Google's changed the SEO ranking stuff again. They've changed the algorithm.
It'd be like the weirdness about events, right? It would be
the E3 episode.
Exactly.
It'd
that'd
be
be
the Call
fun.
of Duty event episode. Yeah.
The holiday episode would be Game of the Year.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, and I remember we wrote a bunch of ideas down. It was like competing with like streamer and YouTubers and like that battling kind of stuff.
The guide writer is like the Kramer, and like he like just breaks into the room and it's just like so neurotic and crazy, and like everyone's just
I
like,
found the
get back in your
Korok
guide.
seeds.
Yeah, get back in your guide writing hole, and everyone treats him like shit. Like
His office is literally a hamster wheel. Like you just you know.
You have the bottle episode that is just one long meeting.
Yeah.
Or the bottle episode is reviewing like the biggest game of the year. So like the copy has to come through, it has to go through video, it has to get edited, and then has to go up at embargo. So
And then Poop Socking a review, absolutely.
And then they rehash the
review.
storyline about the website or what group of websites being sold again, and then everyone's like, "Wait, didn't you guys do this story already?"
I like that.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row of
You guys can't end two seasons the same
Like
way with the
this.
same cliffhanger. Okay.
Well, we can.
Well, apparently that's how life works.
Would it be like The Office or more like I don't know, a different type of comp-
we as a society need to move on from The Office.
I
Yeah.
really like Abbott
think-
Elementary though.
I need to
I
watch
think
that, but
you're talking about like that style, like the mockumentary sort of style.
Yeah, you know, like the
Yeah. I
jimming
think
the
it still
camera.
works. Yeah, I think it still works for like what we do in the shadows.
yeah.
But I agree. Like, I think that style needs to maybe take a back seat for the next great while.
We'd
I
be
think,
Community.
Oh, we would
Yeah,
be Community. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
that might work. I think the
Yes.
Silicon Valley style of it, as much as I have a love hate with that show, I think,
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know. That's like the thing that came to mind.
I do like some of the recommendations in chat for like the episode where like just one of us gets really obsessed with like, listen, the new thing is VTubers. We gotta become VTubers, and everyone like they just spend an entire episode making VTubers, everybody, and then get distracted.
Matt Berry plays Rory. I like that.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Hell yeah.
And Tam says Nick Offerman for me. Yes, that actually
That
does
could work. I
That
like
could work.
that.
Jason Mantzoukas as Tam is a good shout.
Yeah.
Bacalar, you got to let Andy Samberg play you.
Sure.
Who would play me? I don't
Someone said Daisy Edgar Jones, and I could see that.
Who's that?
She's
Daisy
from
Ridley?
Fresh. She's
Sorry, that's
from
another Daisy, but
Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh,
yeah.
she's in she was in Under the Banner of Heaven, which was very good.
Yeah.
She was also in Cold Feet. What the fuck?
Oh,
Cold Feet, British
Tatiana
TV show.
Maslany could play Lucy as well. That's a good shout. She-Hulk.
Oh,
okay,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah. Get Zach Fox to play me, please. Zach Fox, also partially from Abbott Elementary. Tariq, best rapper character on show ever. All right. Next email comes. You should listen to his song "I Got Depression." It's great.
Okay.
It's a banger. Next email comes from Mike. Dear Bombcast, what's your go-to goblin snack? I'm talking late night, raid the fridge or pantry, put some stuff together that maybe non-goblin mode you wouldn't. My current fave is what I called the Bad Breath Special, which is a slice of pumpernickel bread topped with a generous smear of cream cheese, anchovies, white onion, and some hot sauce. All
What
the
the
best.
Sounds fucking
Fuck.
awesome. That
Hell
sounds
yes.
fucking awesome.
that sounds like Flavor Town. It sounds like Flavor Town. You've gone to Flavor Town.
Mike, you're an artist. Like that is like, you know, like there's a reason that was laid out in that way because it's a fucking beautiful sentence.
It's a
And
Jackson Pollock of food.
It
Absolutely.
just demonstrates creativity and just like a lot of commitment goes into that. I love it. I'm not that precise. I'm not
do you
that-
have do any of us have sardines at the ready? I do
Yes.
not. You do? Okay.
Tin fish
got-
date night.
Yo, check it out. Check it out.
All right, here we
yes.
go. I don't have sardines at the ready, but I do
I
have
have
like
anchovies.
I have stuff like banana peppers ready to go at any given moment. A lot of olives ready to go. Like all kinds of garlic ready to go.
I have a Vienna
right.
sausage. Yeah, let's see it. Vienna sausages is the one I would just like. I keep in the house for my.
Oh, you are honorary Filipino then, Grub.
All right, hell yeah.
Yo, we got canned snow crab in this house.
Ooh, all right, that's okay.
We got some choves, you know, if you want to spice up a
boy.
salad.
All right.
I like that. I do
love
like
anchovies.
Yo, swear to God, Matisse sardines. These is the one. I feel
boys?
Matisse. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had sardines. Could someone describe to me what I'm missing
Super
out
salty.
on?
Yeah,
Right, I like that.
very salty fish.
That's about it. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
And then if you got a little bit more money to spend, Fishwife. Whew, that's a joint right there. Look at this branding. Damn.
Please take my fishwife.
cute.
What is that? What is a fishwife?
They're
The mermaid.
yes. No, it's like I think a women-led cannery, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
This is
I like it when
smoked
something
albacore
says
tuna.
never touched by the hands of a man. Like
Yeah.
it's only ever been handled by women. There's something about that.
I honestly, I
Must-
blind
that's gotta
trust
be
that.
pretty
I
good.
blind trust
That's
that. Yeah.
yeah.
My fish
Shout out
wife.
to Ali Hook for
Yes.
Tinfish Date Night. Shout out to Ali Hook.
Oh my god.
What is? I'm sorry. What is like the fish in fishwife? Like what is that?
This is well, they have 4 different SKUs. This is albacore tuna.
Got it. Okay. Forgive me.
So tuna still welcomed into the Tin Fish Date Night family.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fish. It's in a
love
tin.
Yeah, and I love tuna fish. So okay. All right. Great.
Yo, the move, just mix it with a bunch of rice, throw some Kewpie mayo, some hot sauce, and eat that bad boy with some
sounds
seaweed.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what my goblin mode is? Is just eating shit that you're not supposed to eat by itself.
Nutella
Like-
out of the jar.
Oh yeah.
You know, okay,
Yeah.
okay, hold on. I need to bring.
Nutella.
Oh no, that's fine.
That
That's
I don't
fine.
care. The pronunciation I don't care about. The one thing that I remember Lucy constantly bringing up during Extra Life is like, this jar of Nutella here. What's going on with this jar of Nutella? Said we got a spoon. You want to take a spoonful of this jar of Nutella? And then we were leaving and cleaning, and I see this jar of Nutella, and I just present it to Lucy, and she walks away with it.
That's it. That's it. She went into the bathroom with it, and that was it.
No, I'm taking it home. And I have been at
Hell
it with
yes.
a spoon. Don't worry about
Yes.
it. Don't worry about it.
This is listen, I'm 100% there with you, Lucy. 100%. That's my life right there.
Nutella's the
Absolutely.
shit.
Yes.
I will
Lot of
eat
sugar.
furikake
Oh, yeah.
like out of the fucking jar, just straight up. Like I'll
I don't
just
know what
eat
that
that.
is.
It's like chopped up seaweed, salt, and sesame seeds,
Okay.
and I just fucking go to town on that.
The
I go to.
croutons of the sea. What I got? I'm still like.
It's just like Japanese,
Sure.
like it's just like Japanese, like put this on everything, you know, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So croutons of the sea. All right.
Exactly, like
Croutons of the sea.
everything bagel seasoning. I just will fucking like pound
That's
into my
just
face.
salt, dog.
I know, but it's also like
everything
garlic
bagel.
and poppy
Yeah.
seeds and sesame and
I
onion
wanna
and
fucking
like
everything bagel. God.
everything bagels. Yeah, like I just love all that little shit. Even when I'm like making chicken parm, I'll just sometimes take a fucking spoonful of breadcrumbs and just be like, all right, you know, and just get in there.
This is a treat for me.
It's a treat for me and no one else. I don't know. I eat spices. I eat.
See a spice rack and get excited.
It's not my goblin mode though. It's just like a little treat that I'll just sort of like, you know,
Yeah.
dab it and,
Yeah.
and get going.
It fires up the neurons. You just throw it in there.
Yeah.
And the brain goes, yeah.
It's just nose torque a little. And
Yeah,
I use it
exactly.
it's the
Brain
same
torque. Yeah.
effect.
Flavor torque. Man, Flavor Torque. Is that not a brand already? If not, it's the Giant Bomb spice brand.
Flavor.
Start selling it.
Flavor Torque.
I love peanut. I will eat peanut butter on anything. I will seek out like small batch weirdo peanut butter. Like you can find it if you are looking hard enough. I got this. They called it like toasted marshmallow peanut butter, and like in every bite, it just tastes like s'mores, but also peanut butter. And I will find any vessel for that kind of peanut butter. I love it so much. T'more's like peanut butter with kettle chips, of course. You know, like Tempty cream cheese will find its way
Yeah.
on anything, like a braided honey pretzel. Come on,
Forget
That's
about it.
So, you know, fried rice is a very easy dish to make at home. Throw some peanut butter on that jazz.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
You know, get some Thai flavors out of that bad boy.
See, I don't like. I feel like you're like, to me, I think pad thai, right, with the peanuts in it.
Yeah, of course.
But, like I don't trust myself to make a good enough fried rice.
Oh, dog,
Where-
it's too easy. It's too easy.
All right, I'll fucking eat the shit. I will eat that Thank you. I will eat that.
Got some scramby eggs in there.
Sure. Oh, sure. Oh, sure.
Scramby
Oh,
eggs.
sure.
God,
I'm
that sounds-
hungry. Oh,
All right.
hungry.
Only a couple more emails, and then we'll all go eat out of the same jar of Nutella together. Next one is a quick.
hell you will.
Next one is a quick shout out. I didn't copy over the rest of their emails, but it was from Alistair. P.S. Never thought I'd hear Grainger Games on the Bombcast dump truck. Big up to Lucy. I'm from the North Shields. Big fan of buying scratch discs from Grainger back in the day. Big up Greg, sausage rolls, but Koopalins will always be king.
Blends. I don't know those ones. Co-op? Co-op? What was speaking? But no, I mean, you are, Alistair, thank you for your kind words, but you are incorrect. It is the Greg sausage roll is the king.
You heard that, Greg or Alistair. Get out of here.
Yeah. Get it together.
Wait, Kooplins?
Oh, wait, no,
as in, like,
Notley says Kooplins,
C-O-O-P-L-A-N?
you fancy bastard. So maybe it's a thing I didn't get in Newcastle?
Kooplins is the second largest bakery chain in the UK with over 160 outlets and 12 cafes located primarily across Yorkshire, County Durham, and Lincolnshire.
Oh, if it was Durham, I never really went. Yeah, there's not any in like. I'm from Newcastle and Washington, and so it doesn't look like there are any there. Never really went to the
Specializing in
Durham one.
sandwiches, pasties, desserts, cakes, and
Pasties.
bread.
Pasties? Is that pastries?
Pasty is so.
It's not a futury, but it's a pasty, right? Okay.
Fucking hell.
Come on.
Days
No.
of
So
future
you-
pasty.
When you used to go down the mines, you would basically get like a thing of pastry, and then you would put it in a bad empanada. Okay. And then you put like meat and potatoes in it, and then
okay.
you'd fold it over, and then you'd like crimp the edges, and it
Sure.
would like keep everything all nice and
Okay.
Yeah.
Follow-up question, Lucy. Was going down into the mines just a leisurely activity for people, or
No,
That's how they had fun.
I
Was
wish.
that? Did you have to go through the mines to school? Like,
No,
what,
but
how
like,
did?
have you seen Billy Elliot?
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
okay.
the mines, the coal mines.
Right.
Yeah,
You dug
yeah.
too
I
deep.
come from a
Balrog.
my great grandfather was literally head of the Durham Miners Association.
Oh,
And
hell yeah. Let's go,
his
Grandpa.
his surname was Pick. So
Oh,
you
all
can't make
right.
that up.
That's
Can't make that up.
sick.
It was great.
Shouts out to Grandpa.
Yep.
Second to last email comes from Ben from Appleton, Wisconsin. What a fun name for a town.
Yeah.
Hey, Bombcast. I have fond memories of a bunch of games from when I was a kid that I never actually owned, but only played at a friend's house. Some of them for me are Modern Warfare, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and Dynasty Warriors. Whether we were playing them together, one of us was watching, there was something special about those games I could only play when I was hanging out with a friend. What are your friends' house games from growing up? Thanks,
This
Ben from Appleton.
this taps into such a specific
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I love it. I love that we're just, we're tapping that vein, right? For me, yeah, like imagine, like I'm not even at this point where I explain stuff to my kid where it's like, no, dude, like fucking, you just couldn't have stuff.
Yeah.
You just could, like, you just didn't have everything at all. Yeah. I remember going to a friend's house and Doom for sure. I mean, I eventually got these games, but for the longest time, it was like Doom and Donkey Kong Country. These were like Matt's games. I could only play them at Matt's house. When I thought of going to his house, it was like an afternoon filled with Doom and Donkey Kong Country, and I knew that's what I was going to be getting. So yeah, those are my friend's house games.
Yeah, mine is I went to my friend's house who, these are the things I remember about him. Don't remember his name.
Some friend.
Well, I mean, okay. Honestly, I think my mom might have been friends with his mom more than I was friends with him. I remember that we left the house. My mom told me they were a certain religion that didn't allow them to celebrate birthdays, and that like stuck with me like really hard as a kid. Hearing that, like, that is the craziest thing you could have ever told me. But he had Karnov for the NES, and that's where I discovered Karnov. And I just remember, like, there's this bald, like, stocky guy running around, has ladders in his pocket, and he can just put up ladders anywhere and climb up them. And I've been obsessed with Karnov ever since. I don't think I ever actually owned Karnov. I mean, I've played it a million times since then with the emulators and stuff. But and so yeah, that's Karnov is my friend's house game. Probably the most, although then, of course, I had a friend that was like, I was the Nintendo kid, he was the Sega kid. So I'd go over to his house and play, Sonic and Willy Beamish, the Sega CD game and things like that. So, yeah, all the Sega games were like that.
I was the friend, and my friend game was The Bouncer.
Okay.
Huh.
The boys were so happy. Oh, I had a friend that bought a multi-tap so he could bring it over to my place so we could all play The Bouncer.
A bouncer.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Oh, boys, gents, ladies. Oh, gosh. I got
Bouncer?
man.
That's the launch game for the PS2?
If we roll it back for Blight Club and there's ever space, I will happily play through this game again. Your girlfriend becomes a satellite, which is actually what inspired the POD song "Satellite."
Stop
Yeah,
it.
of course. Yeah, that's just true.
Dude, nothing about this game is ringing a bell.
Doesn't he look like a Sora though?
It was like the only launch game that I remember
Protosaur.
from that time. So yeah, the Bouncer. I never played it. Never played it.
Thank you for that email, Ben from Appleton, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was a
Perhaps
good one.
are you
Thanks, Ben.
Ben Kissel? Maybe.
Ben Kissel of the last podcast.
Yes,
On
one
the
and the
left?
same. Yeah,
Does he listen to the Bombcast?
perhaps. That's
Mayhaps. I met him once, so he is incredibly tall.
He's a very tall individual.
He is.
All right. Shouts out to Wine Moms and True Crime. Am I right?
Shout out to Mead Mommies.
It's front runner for this episode for sure. Last email comes from Reg McFly. Hello, bombers. Listen to last week's Bombcast, and just to let you know, I'm a guidance teacher in a high school in Scotland, and we use FAIL as an acronym as well. We use it for First Attempt in Learning. Keep positive, y'all. Reg McFly. Thanks.
I like that.
Yeah.
First attempt in learning.
Lucy, you got any fun little positive statements or words of wisdom that you like to fall back on, or corny ones as well?
ABC.
Always be.
Always be capping. Always, if you're playing a video game, always be capturing.
Mine's
All right.
That's genuinely what I mean when I say ABC.
that's,
yeah.
that works.
Oh, and
Where
also,
could we go with that?
also from the room, XYZ. Examine your zipper.
Okay, all right. At least that's useful. Fucking the fail one, like you can only use that once. That's it. First attempt in learning. You failed twice. Now what? Well, now you're just hopeless.
All right.
Grumpy
Just
Gus.
saying. You
This
call
fucking guy.
I know it's this fucking guy,
Get their
but like,
asses. Get them.
just saying. You know.
You two are
no.
too much. That's right, Mike.
I haven't seen that movie in a hot minute.
Me too, actually. I've watched
was
like so many times though.
Something else I wanted to talk about.
I'm sorry, Dan said in chat. Well, then
Sail.
it's just sales. Second attempt in learning.
That's pretty good.
That's what that one song is about. Sail.
Touche. Oh, I remember. So and forgive me for extending the Bombcast a little bit here, but like
It's got to be done.
Do what you must.
we're a week after Halloween, and my house is just a candy factory in a way that I cannot
All right, show
explain
off.
to you. No, it's a problem. Last night I threw out 2 cakes, brownies.
What the fuck? I'm
Why
right
did you
here.
have cakes?
Why am I not getting these?
Because we had a Halloween party last
It did look
weekend.
very good, yeah.
That served as Stacy's 40th / Halloween /
Oh, happy
our
birthday. Happy belated.
yes, thank you / our anniversary, and I'm just like, I don't understand. And plus, Dylan brought home like an insane amount of candy,
Right.
and like, what do we actually do here? Because it's a problem. There's also a ton of puppy chow.
Oh,
Take it
yeah,
to,
now
like-
I know what that is.
Take it to someone's office. I know you don't go into an office anymore.
Right,
So just walk into an office and leave it there and walk away.
It's funny because that's what Stacey said. She's like, in the past you would just like bring this into
Oh,
the
100%.
office and the cupcakes would disappear, and that was like the social trash compactor sort of thing. And now we have no way to like disperse of this stuff.
Eat it.
Like I ate so much of that puppy chow. I feel like a piece of actual shit. It's unbelievable.
What's it called when you put all bunch of alcohols into one thing, like a
Jungle
Hairy Buffalo?
juice.
Jungle juice.
King's Cup.
Yes, make a jungle juice of sweets and candies, and just put them all in one bowl, mix them up, and like a slurry. Add a little bit of oatmeal in there.
Slurry.
To what end?
That's the word you picked.
To drink it.
Oh,
Make
no,
sangria. Make sangria out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's how sangria works.
Tam says melt all the chocolates in one big pool and drink it.
And drink it in one sip. It's insane. It's just truly, truly insane. Unfortunately, some of it's gonna go to waste. Unfortunately,
Why don't you give it to your neighbors?
Everyone is candy stricken. Everyone has like this situation.
Go take it to the
streets.
a local pediatrician and say, hey, going to the doctor is scary for some kids. Here is chocolate for them.
Oh, hey, the thing you tell all your patients not to do? Here's some of that.
Wow, I didn't realize you lived in the town that Fun died in.
Yeah, John Lithgow from the dancing movies, the mayor right now, yeah.
Yeah, no dancing and no
Footloose.
What's crazy is also like you can't give it to the kid to bring in because like there's so many allergy restrictions, like they'll all freak out. You can't do that.
Colorado was like that, and now in here they're like, no, we don't care about that. In Ohio, what the hell?
Now you know where you moved.
Yeah, we just kill kids here. All right, that's what we do. All right, okay.
What about?
That's funny.
I don't know. I mean, I have a bunch of cat food down here that I'm also trying to get rid of. I have to give it to. I'm gonna go give it to a shelter.
Oh,
could you? Yeah, well, because my cat's on a special diet, so she can't eat any of this anymore. And I guess if you can't take it to a dentist, if you can't take it to a doctor, I'm guessing you don't take it to a dentist.
Can you do a curb alert? Can you do a Craigslist curb alert? Just put it on the curb. Curb it. And just say it's free.
Legit, just put it on next door and just go, hey, we got loads of candy. People love that shit. Craigslist as well. Do it.
And just
I'll probably have to put it in a public
100% definitely no razors. And then people be like, oh,
zero
no
razors.
Yeah, and no fentanyl. I've had no less than
here's
3 people. Yeah, go ahead.
You go to an IKEA. Every empty bowl, fill it with candy.
That's a good idea.
Boom.
Just start stuffing people's mailboxes.
I've had no less than 3 people in my life ask me how we fared with the fentanyl over.
You're
Halloween.
kidding me. That's how they is that how they phrased it?
Yes. How did you fare with all the fentanyl? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, you psychopath?
Well, that's a Fenty beauty.
I said, what do you think they're just handing out fentanyl? That's not how this works. Stop reading just the headline.
Stop reading.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes for the rest of the time you're alive.
We should not have made you literate. We messed up.
No, but like I'm gonna freeze it. Either that, I'm just gonna all dump it in like a mailbox or something.
Yeah. You could just throw it out.
Just
throw
man,
it
that'd
out.
be funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, please.
Be posting that too.
All right. Well, I think that about does it for the Giant Bombcast this week. This is a shorter week on the website. Veterans Day is this Friday, so unfortunately, there will be no Game S Mornings on Friday or a UPF. Regular programming as per usual. Game S Mornings popping off tomorrow and Thursday. Blight Club returns. Eternal Darkness at the Heart of My Soul. I think I'm going to try and do some Sekiro Choa because I got the hunger after watching Tam absolutely beast through that game and just make me feel completely inept at it. But also I want to give a special shout outs to you at home, the Giant Bomb community, for rocking with us during Extra Life, donating when you can. And again, no shame at all if you couldn't donate, weren't in a position to donate. We completely understand. It is very difficult times. You just watching, hanging, and laughing with us is all we need. Also, special shouts out. I cannot emphasize this enough. Shouts out to Zombie Pie for constantly tweeting and plugging when members of the community are streaming, joining the team. Also, a special fucking shout out to John Luke, who who set up the SF office. Tam, Lucy, Rorie as well for helping out, setting that bad boy up because it was great times, y'all. Let me tell you,
it was so fun.
It was fantastic times. I was talking with Haim afterwards. It was like, man, this was just like a house party after a while, just people yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was great. It was fun. Good times are had. Also, Jess is going to be doing another marathon this weekend with Gextra Life. I'm not even going to ask what she's going to do. I'm scared. I don't care.
Me too.
Not that I don't care, but I'm just gonna let Jess do her thing, and maybe there's gonna be gex.
We can't protect her from herself when it comes to these games. So
we can't. We can strongly imply and reach out to her semi-husband of like, hey, but go with God. Is that what it is? Jeff Grubb, do you have that sound cue on decky?
And I'm gonna fart.
Wow. And the music's playing.
The Giant Bombcast is hosted and live produced by Jan Ochoa, with support from Jeff Grubb, Dan Reichert, Jess O'Brien, Lucy James, Tamor Hussein, Jason A. Stryker, Matthew Rorie, and me, Jeff Bacalar. Our theme music is provided by Tom Monda. Our logo is designed by Dave Schopenek, and you can find him online with the handle @DaveSavedTheDay. Justin Vachon is our sweet little art boy. And thank you so much for listening. Of course, a kiss on the cheek to you at home.